Hello and welcome. Core Battle League is excited to announce we are officially bringing you the first ever in the world, not in our community, but ever, the first ever Apex Legends Arena tournament. These are private servers, and I'm excited to kind of just offer this to you guys. So I'm going to start off with a quick hello. Thank you for tuning in. We are just getting started, and I'm humbled, thankful to Respawn for allowing me to continue to do all these amazing things for the Apex community. We've had a month long of qualifiers, and we'll continue in July to get qualifiers in for our battle royale tournaments that have been going on, and some incredible teams. The ALGS world champions played in our events as well. A lot of top players, a lot of top pros. It's been a humble honor to be the organizer and host of these, and man, oh man, now I get to be the first in all the world to bring you private arena tournaments. And this is going to be a series, and it's not just for today. This is an ongoing series where teams will have to qualify to get themselves into our majors for arenas. What's special to me about arenas is that we're going to get to see the players, and we're going to focus on these teams. It's not just battle royale of 20 teams and the madness of third partying. It's a real lock it down focused aspect, and this is exciting to me. And as a player myself, arenas has been extremely fun, and we got a lot to talk about, but we're going to try to cut it short to get the games going. You're going to take a quick look at this very moment, hoping you're seeing these brackets as they continue to develop. We have 8 teams today trying to make it in and get it going for the championship. Some great teams that we've seen and some new teams. So it's going to be very exciting, because the first game that we're about to see is from Minty Maniacs and Six Crutches, and these two teams have been top tier material in our battle royale tournaments, but today they're going to have to test themselves on a team versus team arena format, and we put them up first to be able to broadcast the premier aspect of what we have in store. And before we continue with that, we're going to do a little bit of some plugins here with our schedule. Today we have the first ever arenas tournaments. Tomorrow we continue our amazing battle royale champions legacy tournament series. All right, so we're bringing you 2 series here: the arenas tournament series and the battle royale. So you get everything you want all in one place, and I'm extremely humbled and grateful to be the one to do this for you. So I'm excited because I just want to see the action. These 2 teams specifically have been incredible. One has already won and made it into the majors, while the other has been one of the top teams, and they're going to go at it very shortly, and we're going to continue to dive deeper. But before we do, I wanted to give you guys a quick breakdown of everything that we've been doing and we want to do and continue to do for you guys. All right, so this is all community based. Everybody is welcome. We try to make sure you feel welcome, whether you're on PC or console in different countries. This community is about the unity of esports players, teams that want to get signed, players that are looking for teams to really compete in an esports aspect, helping casters, helping organizers. As you saw, we've done all these things in the last month and a half, bringing it all to you guys, showcasing and lifting up everybody we can, and humbly grateful for those who come on board, whether it's some of the world champions, top players in the world and things like that. Coming and being a part of it is just incredible. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for everything we've done. I'm just goosebumps thinking about what's going to happen today with these crazy players that just have so much skill and understand the game in ways that, you know, let's be honest, the average player can't even imagine. So get ready to be inspired as a player. If you are just watching, I hope you enjoy the show. It's going to be exciting. We are going to kick off and get things rolling very quickly. But before I do, I did want to touch base with somebody that I hope you guys get to know very well. Somebody that has been doing some great casting. He's been doing some Halo casting, and he's been a fun guy to just kind of check out and learn a little bit about and try to see what he's all about. So without further ado, I'm going to give you guys an intro. Let him do his own introduction, folks, for you guys to see who he is. What is going on? Why not? Talk to me.
Not be reckless, aka why not be casting, and I'm kind of a freaking big deal. If you don't know, now you know.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So what's up, man? So you've done some Halo stuff. You've been playing Apex a lot recently. You're in love with the esports scene. You've casted in many different events, and today's your day to come out and enjoy some of this with me. Thank you very much. Hey, we're gonna get these games rolling to start now, and I want to give you, since you're not new to Apex, but you're new to these two teams. The team won, and they talk trash to the other team, and somehow we got them in. We got them in to play against each other to start this off, right? We don't want to bring this drama. We keep it very healthy in our community, but there is a little bit of back and forth between these two teams, right? And as a new person that hasn't seen them perform in our tournaments just yet, I'm interested to get your take as you see their picks right now, and we're gonna take a look into what they have going on and what they're doing, and we're gonna figure out what is the right comp for these guys. First and foremost, I'm looking at two great legends in this game. Well, matter of fact, they're starting to pick all their legends: Pathfinder, Bloodhound, and Valkyrie. And we do see two Pathfinders on both teams and two Valkyries, plus a Gibby. Gibby's very difficult to deal with, always exciting, and I'm super interested to see how this match plays out. It's a fun time to be an Apex Legends player. And before we continue, we're gonna bring this on down to you guys and show you guys the versus matchup. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna be watching Minty Maniacs, and they will be going up against Six Crutches. Six Crutches are the champions. They have won. They've already won, and they have what it takes to continue winning because they've won in the battle royale scene. But we're getting to see these two teams face off, and now they're going to be competing in arenas. So it should be very interesting. I'm very excited. Here we go. Enough talk. Let's go. And right now we're watching Minty Maniacs get their way in there, trying to figure out what's going on, holding down the ring. For me, holding down the ring is very important when I play arenas, and if you do that, then you're going to be comfortable for the rest of the round. The other team has to rotate. So arenas doesn't have a lot of rotating, but it is very critical to have that positioning so you won't have to rotate a little bit. And that's something that we're going to see from Minty do a lot. I've watched them play arenas tons, so should be very interesting on how that works out.
Yeah, well, I'm actually on board with our Pathfinder here, who ends up picking up the R99, also has the Havoc, and if you get the chance, there we go, I'm about to watch your screen right now. He's about to sell up because he took down some heavy damage trying to go in for those supplies, still have a little bit of a 3v3 situation, shots are starting to ring out, but I think he's going to speed up here very soon.
Yes, he is. And this is really great stuff right here. You want to take your time and hold that position. Minty Maniacs doing what's right, keeping control of their map. But guess what? They had the position on the first round. The second round is making them have to rotate into the ring. And now they're going to be in a vulnerable state where this is important on how you rotate, or at least try to open the door. With the Gibby, they can easily go into open fields and pop that Gibby to get through and rotate proper. So I think that's the logic. I'm thinking of what they're trying to do here. And of course, with Pathfinder and Valkyrie, you can fly around and just zip your way through the arena. So it's going to be interesting. I love the comp for Minty, but it's not over. As I say it, they do exactly what I expected, was drop the Gibby bubble to rotate in, and now they're in the fight. And this is where it's going to all play out right now. And it looks like Six, since they're in the ring, they have the position, they don't got to worry about rotating. They're going to have the advantage here, and they're pushing the team right now, taking out multiple players, and it's looking like a really good fight for Six. And already the champions of the Battle Royales, who won last week, come in and give us some smoke to start off the first match. And for everybody watching, you're going to be in between the rounds. We will put on this versus and kind of discuss exactly what is we just saw. There are some replays that we'll have for you guys, and we'll continuously replay between the rounds because players have to select their weapons. Just so everyone knows, Arena is a brand new game mode for Apex Legends. Originally, it's a battle royale game, but they added this team versus team, and basically you're purchasing weapons, you're purchasing items to basically get ready for your fight. And man, oh man, talking about get ready for your fight, we're already in the second round, and it's looking like we're gonna pay attention to Six, who just won the first round, and they're sitting comfortable in the ring, holding it to high ground. This is what you want to do in any Apex Legends.
And the one thing I love about Arenas is that it really takes the RNG aspect out of it. You know, you get to pick the weapons that you start with. You get to pick the side that you want to rotate to. You know, there's no excuses when it comes to the arenas. There's no place to hide, as our Valkyrie player going to have to Phoenix up, ends up losing all of his shields and about half of his health. No player's going down just yet. And I love the fact that he purchased 3 grenades. I feel like grenades tend to be underutilized here, at least in the lower level of competition. Those nades, as soon as the game starts to slow down, the pacing starts to change, you can really force a player out of his position, utilize the explosions, and he's also going to get himself a blue Spitfire to go. That Spitfire is still overpowered. They nerfed it a bit, but even a noob like me can put down damage with that Spitfire.
Yes, they can. The Spitfire, let's not get into that topic. We'll be here all night. But 100%, that thing claps, and it's what you want to see if, you know, you feel confident like that's a better weapon. For me, he's holding the Wingman, which shows his true confidence. He's a good player. I believe Wingman players are some of the best in the world. If you know how to use it, you're going to do some damage. But if you pull out a Spitfire, you can definitely be a Terra. And it's nothing better than having that as a secondary on top of your Wingman. Man, that's a scary sight if it's a good player who can hit his shots with the Wingman, finish you off with the Spitfire and take out multiple players. And we might see that today with Whale on this round. We'll come back to him in a minute, but I want to take a look at Minty Maniacs again, having to rotate. And again, Arenas isn't about battle royale. Rotations are very important in battle royale, but even these little micro rotations can put you in vulnerable places. And as why not explain, grenades can throw you out of position while you're rotating. As we see right now, Joe almost getting taken down because he had to rotate, and he was in trouble in that situation. And those are the small details that make the difference on the best teams. And as we speak, Six just holding the high ground, superior in every aspect when it comes to positioning. Looking really hot right now with that Wingman. As I explained, they're trying to hit their shots and switching over to the Spitfire, and he can clean up shop. And already second game in the books. And man, oh man, it's looking good for Six. They have 2-0. Just so everybody can understand, how is this tournament being run? Everybody's trying to understand it. Pretty much it's basic, just like in arenas, where you have to get to match point and then win the next game. We have the same setup for this. There's no best of 7 in this. You can win 3 in a row and you're done. And team 6 right now has a chance. They won 2 and they can possibly take this next game. Now, this isn't a short thing. We don't know if it's going to happen, but it's possible. And if they win this, pretty much game over, and they've already eliminated Team Maniacs. And speaking of Team Maniacs, we're going to take a look at them and see what they're doing. I mean, they're playing one of the top tier teams, and already it's looking like a great finish. Unbelievable. Right off the bat, taking 3 wins, finishing it quickly. A scary team indeed. Man, that was insane. And big respect to the one and only Team 6. What a play. We're gonna actually show a little bit of a replay here and give you guys some visuals. And actually, we can't right now show you that. So without further ado, we're back in effect. There's still other games happening. That was a little too fast. I did not believe what I just saw. That was insane. Incredible stuff right there. And go ahead and talk to me about what you saw there overall from these teams.
I mean, honestly, I saw domination. I saw a team that, first of all, felt comfortable. At no point in time were their backs against the wall. At no point in time were they uncomfortable whatsoever. They and that's the problem, is that when you're playing in a tournament, even in the early rounds, you got to find a way to make that enemy team uncomfortable. You got to knock them off their footing. You got to put their backs against the wall. Otherwise, they're going to assert their dominance, just like we saw. I'm expecting to see them play really well throughout the rest. And I mean, going into round number 2, I would imagine whoever wins in round 1 ultimately is going to be able to test them a little bit more. We might not see a 3-0 finish, but the way this team is looking good, they're organized, they're experienced, they're executing. I would not be surprised if we see something similar, maybe a 3-1, maybe a 4-2.
Man, incredible. And I love it. And don't get it twisted, that was too fast, but it's only one game. They still have multiple games to play. Remember, this isn't a quick elimination. I apologize for my wording on that. What we're gonna see is second round, third round, and we're gonna see again, they have to win 3 full games. They just won 1 game. Yeah, so Minty Maniacs got to see their comp. They got to see the way they want to play. Now they have to react to the situation. Okay, and I apologize, I said the elimination. I got excited. I got so excited I just felt like it was such a sweep. You know what I mean? What you saw there was incredible, but just cool stuff from these guys. We're about to see the next game in a minute, and then we'll continue from there. Before we do, we just want to remind everybody and showcase our schedule, because we have more than just this. Even though this is the world premiere, first private arena tournaments. I know a lot of people have been doing arena kill races, but this is something different. So basically, tomorrow's battle royale will start it off with 2 tournaments tomorrow, which is crazy for me because it's the first time we're going to do a double. Usually we do 1 per day, but tomorrow we're doing one at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then another tournament at 7. So basically a good 6 hours. It takes 3 hours per tournament to complete, and it's been a fun time, but now we're doubling down and trying to give the community more entertainment and fun and excitement. Of course, we'll live stream it and broadcast it for you guys to watch at the same time. And man, oh man, I'm excited about it. You can go to our Discord and get yourself involved and get in on the action for yourselves. So we'll see. And just to kind of pause on what we're seeing here, there is the bracket if you want to check it out on the website. Every team is featured on there. At the moment, we're watching Minty Maniacs and 6 Crutches. The teams that are currently playing is Raven and Pathfinder. We're going to get to those games, and we can watch those games as we go also. And then we'll see who advances from that bracket. And of course, we'll go down the list as we go during the day. After these games, the next teams will be hosted and we'll showcase those matchups as well going forward. So we are officially ready to go. We're going to get this thing rolling for the next game. And man, oh man, again, 6 crutches have showcased in the Battle Royale tournaments that they got what it takes. But this is a new day. It's a new era. This is a new Apex Legends that we all are not used to, regardless of playing it as much as I did, which I've given it a lot of hours. It's still brand new, and teams can create new strategies, new metas, new comps that work very well. And we're going to see what Minty Maniacs could do to react. I think that's critical if you want to break down your analogy on what you feel can be done against a team like Team 6. Why not?
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the things that make Tyronn Lue a really good coach in the NBA is his ability to make in-game adjustments, and it's really important. So, yeah, you just got creamed. You just went down 0-3 in that game number 1. But now this is where you're truly going to be tested on what you bring to the table as individuals and as a team. Maybe you might have to switch up your composition. You know, you see a Valkyrie player, maybe you need to hard counter with Revenant. You know, Valkyrie wants to get up high. She wants to utilize that jetpack to get that height advantage. She wants to utilize those missiles to stun you and put that early damage in. Revenant can hard counter it, and maybe you can play around it. Now it's all about how you're going to adjust to what you've just seen.
Exactly.
You're gonna let them roll over on you again, because I'll be honest with you, that was dominant. But I would not be surprised if maybe they can tie up this series, and all you gotta do is take it one round at a time. Take it one game at a time. You don't have to overthink it and be thinking, well, what happens here? If I win by 2, forced to tie. At this point, just take it one round at a time and simply execute and adapt.
Speaking about execution, the game just started, perfect timing, and we're going to see what Minty Maniac's new game plan is here. Again, holding their rotations when it comes to just keeping the ring for themselves and just pushing back 6 instead of the opposite that just happened earlier, I think would be very critical. And a funny comment from my buddy Why Not here, he said the word Revenant. And to be honest with you, one thing that I haven't talked about is these players' profiles. Minty Maniacs came into the tournaments 2 weeks ago and played in about 5 different tournaments that we've held in the last 2 weeks. And every time they would have a Revenant. Their team captain is a Revenant main. So the fact that you said that, they're actually playing Revenant right now. And it does do a lot. You know, I've been playing Revenants all last night because of the new update. And using that suppression, aka silence ability, which stops players from using their abilities, has been incredible for me strategically. And I think right now we're going to see Minty Maniacs at their element, because when they were in the Battle Royale tournaments, it was insane. And man, oh man, I loved what I saw. So right now we're going to see if Minty Maniacs can get back to the way they played in the Battle Royale, and then moving forward, going from here. And so far, they're looking comfortable. They're not putting themselves in vulnerable positions the way they did last event. As I say that, the ring is far off, and they got to rotate again. And again, this is where positioning is still important in Apex, because even though it's arenas, you want to have that high ground. You want to be in good cover. So interesting stuff right now. And 6 crutches just taking players out easily, understanding that there's a lifeline at play and wanting to clean up shop, and they do right there. Really good stuff by them.
Yeah, when I'm playing arena settings, I utilize Lifeline big time. Lifeline is so overpowered when it comes to those arena settings. You get yourself a gold bag, and at no point in time are you going to be down in numbers. When that opponent knocks a player but not able to get that thirst and eliminate, you can really equalize the situation. Lots of times when I'm playing against a Lifeline team, it becomes hard to know we're up in numbers. And as a competitive player, I need to know when I'm up in numbers. I need to know when I'm up in player numbers, and also in shields as well, because it's gonna adjust the way I play. If I have weaker shields than my opponent, I'm gonna play a little bit more passive. I'm gonna try to bait them. If I have higher shields or even higher numbers, a 3v2 situation, I'm gonna get more aggressive. I'm gonna get in the face. I'm gonna find that wound and put my thumb on it and make it bleed.
Definitely. This is very important to put that pressure when necessary. And these teams are doing so right now. I like what Team 6 is doing. They're keeping positions. Again, this is something I often do. I don't like to do it because I feel like I want to try different things sometimes when I'm playing arena. But it's very critical to push that and push people out. Push people out of the area. So interesting stuff to see what's going on. Again, Team 6 is killing it today. They're just performing at top tier material. We're about to see the next round and see what they have. So far, so good. It's been looking really great for Team 6, and Maniacs, you know, do not sleep on them. They've been incredible as well. So I like both these teams personally from the Battle Royale scene. And so far, it's not like we've seen bad play from Minty Maniacs. It's just, you know, when someone's holding the ring and you got to rotate into it, and then it's just a tough time. And so far, it's been fun to see this right here in the phaser area, where it can get really hot and heavy right here, depending on how teams play this out. I like the fact they got a lifeline. For me personally, she's very incredible when it comes to her abilities to be able to keep the team surviving the situations. So we'll see what happens.
And while we're here with that lifeline player who's rocking R301, is upgraded to the 2X, but it's not going to matter much because he does get put down, and so does Revenant. So now we have a little bit of a 3v1 situation. Now Pathfinder's been eliminated, and that is it. 6 Crutch is going to become our champions in this game. Again, very little resistance. They are asserting their dominance on this team. This is not only a match. This is not just a round 1 matchup. Let me tell you, Matt, this is a message to the rest of the teams in the tournament saying we are here and we're here for first place. Where they're putting the rest of the teams on notice.
Definitely. And I think one of those key components here is that factor. I think a lot of people don't understand when you play Apex, for example, one of the best things, in my opinion, is to always fire back. If I get shot at, I like to fire back right away and put in some damage on them. That way they'll be thinking twice to push me around. You know, I know the way I play when I get aggressive and I'm about to push somebody, and pretty much once I see I put a little bit of damage, I'm gonna get very aggressive. So when they pull back and they're able to beam me, I think twice and I say, hold on, let me readjust myself. And so that's the same situation that we're seeing here from 6, who are, you know, great players. They put the first 1-2 punch in. They're up 2 games to 0 officially, and they can finish it now. They're on match point. The way this system works is match point, where there's no series of best of 7. It's win 3 games or get to match point and finish it off. So we're gonna see this next matchup and go from there. I'm interested in how Minty Maniacs come back, because we've seen how intelligent they've played. They become second best in 3 different tournaments that we've held for Battle Royale. But Arenas is a different breed, and we're gonna see what they have going forward. For me, what did you see that you liked about Minty Maniacs gameplay, if you can break that down for us?
I will say I like the composition that they were playing. Ultimately, it's kind of hard because, you know, obviously 6 Crunchers has that firepower, and they obviously are a dominant team. But I like the composition that Minty Maniacs has been running with the Lifeline, Rev, and Valkyrie. I think at this point, though, now that you know 6 Crunchers is in match point, I think you do need to adjust a little bit. So I would say maybe if you have a player that can play Gibby, maybe you need to play Gibby. Change up the way the combat is coming. So if Pathfinder, Bloodhound, and Valkyrie are flying at you and they're getting super aggressive, maybe you need to drop that bubble, turn it into a bubble fight, change the way the game is being played. Utilize a Bloodhound of your own, get to know exactly where the teams are pushing from, and get those early nades in. I truly believe in adjustments. So at this point, I think they need to adjust their gameplay, maybe slow it down, get a Gibby in there, utilize some Gibby bubbles, and get a Bloodhound so you know exactly where they're pushing from, and maybe you can hard counter.
Totally agree. And we're going to take a second to kind of showcase our events and get into it. I think what he was expressing there, it's very simple. Don't just keep doing something. If it's not working, change it up a little bit. And it's not all about just one thing. Sometimes it might be a weapon. Sometimes it might be a legend that you want to change, or just where you're positioning yourself. One thing I noticed was that they were not rotating into the ring. They kept having to rotate later because they would go around the map. And that makes it hard for you to have the dominant position if you're consistently trying to get back into the ring every time the round ends. And so we'll see what happens, but we do want to kind of remind everybody to go get involved with what we got going on. Today is Arenas, very special day, and it's been an honor to start this up and hopefully inspire so many others and build so many other people up for these events. And I'm excited to do that. But tomorrow, our regular schedule continues at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard. We're bringing you nothing but the goodness when it comes to Battle Royale scene, because we know Apex is at its prime right now when it comes to esports, when it comes to the legends, weapons, a lot of balance. People can pick over 10 plus legends and have a good time, man. I mean, like, really almost all of the legends are very usable, very fun. You can have a great time. I've been playing Revenant, which I hardly do, all day yesterday, and I had a blast. Then there's weapons balance, where you can play with so many different guns and really enjoy yourself and go from there. So we are truly blessed. We're really excited to continue to bring this to you guys. With that in mind, take a quick look. It is happening right now. You're looking at our announcement of the Championship Arena Legacy Tournament Series, private servers, all for you guys. And I hope y'all enjoying the show. I'm honored to have a special guest today who has been doing great today, and his knowledge of the game is on point. His calling is very good for the energy and flow. So let's give it a look. This is a critical game for Minty Maniacs. If they do not win it, they will be officially eliminated from this scenario. So be afraid of the big bad wolf. That's how we're gonna call it right now, guys. So take a look. Minty Maniacs versus Six Crutches. And later on, as we go in the future, once we get into the majors, we're going to have player profiles and interviews. You've seen it in my Battle Royale tournaments, but we're going to bring it here also. We're building up profiles for every player, going to do little interviews, and you've seen what we've done. And today we're going to keep it low key because it's our first event, but we will be showcasing these players as they continue to win and showcase who they really are and how great they really are. And with that in mind, let's see this greatness. Show us your greatness. And if you're rooting for Minty Maniacs, right now is the time to get in heavily, because it is about to go down. And right now, speaking of that, they get already deep into the ring, and they have the same comp they had in the last round, which I'm not mad at that. It's a great comp here, specifically from the way they play. And already Lifeline, their Lifeline is down. Not looking too hot. And man, oh man, Six Crutches are just coming for blood. And speaking of that, let's take a look at what their side of things, cleaning up shop quickly. Woo.
And the first round gonna handsomely go over towards Six Crutches, and once again, it's a flawless victory at that. So I talked about it before. It's dominance. This is not just a good team. This is a dominant team. You know, I'm even noticing from the way they buy. Like, there's no question what they want going from round 1 to round 2 from round 3. They buy so quick. They know exactly what they want to accomplish on each and every map. So that tells me that maybe they're scrimming, maybe they're playing together. They're clearly know what they want to do. And as I said before, it's just about that execution.
Definitely, execution is critical, and this is where I always try to tell people, you know, they come into these tournaments casually, and I explain you're more than welcome to join the community events, but you can't get mad if there's a pro team in here who plays 100 hours a week and destroys the lobby. In the end of the day, you know your role and be able to understand practice makes perfect, and that's what we're seeing from Team 6, they're just cleaning up shop right now, and only one player left in Minty Maniacs for this third game, apologies. And look at that, man. It is incredible, the stuff that we're seeing. I mean, I did not expect this type of play from the top two team, one of the top two teams from our Battle Royale scene. But at the moment, incredible work by Six Crutches. They have been the best so far in what they're showcasing. And speaking of showcasing, we are getting the other games in at the moment. So the way this is working, we have multiple lobbies open right now. Teams are playing to try to advance to the semifinals. And it looks like if Team 6 finishes this, they will move on. But there's other teams out there, and we are going to showcase them. And we're continuing to bring in all the different teams and showcase it to you as we go. But this whole game might end here right now. And let's take a quick look and see what's going down. At the moment, Six Crutches sitting comfortable. They're pushing the pace. They're really confident. They just push without a care. They're cleaning up shop here. It's looking like Minty Maniacs down to one player. And man, it is incredible, the stuff that I'm seeing by Team 6. One player left, their team captain, trying to survive this situation. This is the yeet moment where you pull out a Revenant, Death Totem, and wipe a team by yourself out. It's possible, but it's not good odds right now. Looking really great for Team 6. They're about to finish this off, hunting down their prey, and there it is, the grand finale.
I will say, I like the way Minty was playing that. Their team captain in Revenant, he got his shots in, and you notice that he immediately went for that height advantage up top. He knows that he could have just stayed down there and fight a 1v3 situation. He was trying to isolate some of those battles, so he ended up getting his shots in, going right up top. He even got a knock, but sadly, I mean, there's not much you can do when Six Crutches. It's a 3v1 situation. I'm not good at math, but let me tell you, that doesn't sound like the equation I would want to be a part of.
Definitely, and I think it was perfectly done by this team, and now they advance. They're gonna have to step aside and wait for the next teams to jump on board and go forward. But that was an incredible game, to say the least, overall, and I just want to congratulate them for advancing. And we're gonna take a look into the bracket and see what is going on with that. But man, oh man, our first game done with those guys, and it's been a pleasure seeing that action. And speaking of action, there's a lot going on right now. If we take a quick look right next door, Team Revenant also in some action right now, and they're going to be looking to try to do some things here. This is another team with an esports organization trying to build their esports organization. They have multiple teams within their organization that they're building. And right now, this team right here, Omega, trying to get in there, Raven. So we're going to see if they can do what they do. And they're going up against the Pathfinders. I love the name, by the way, my favorite legend. And as I say that, they get wiped and they get taken down, and you're going to see a lot of action from these teams also. So still many games to go and new teams to continue to build and go forward. And I'm going to pass it over to Why Not, and just let him call some of this for you guys while I make sure that the bracket and everything's all set.
Absolutely. And clearly this Bloodhound knows what he's doing. He's comfortable with this legend because he does have that heirloom. I've been opening up packs. Let me tell you, I've opened up so many packs trying to get me an heirloom. So clearly he knows exactly what he's doing, because he's able to get himself an heirloom, and he puts it on Bloodhound. It must be his favorite legend, and he's going to be starting things off with that R99. Now notice how he fully upgraded his R99 but dropped the sight. Apparently loves the iron sight on this. I've heard there's some pay to win skins on some of the weapons, and the R99 happens to to be one of them. They're going to elect to go portal side of things, but without actually taking the portal. So to be silent here, I like that strat, going portal side, but not giving away any sound cues. He's going to rip that Wraith. Oh my, gets the crack. Wraith's going to have to Q out and get out of dodge here as his R99 Bloodhound player is starting to up the tempo. He's upping the velocity. He has those tracks in front of him that he's starting to stalk here. He knows exactly where they are. Here comes the shots. It's a little bit of a 2v1 bait and switch on that player, and that's going to be it. RVN are going to take this game. Whew. Incredible plays. I wish we could have saw more of them, but I will say this is the round one. I don't know exactly what game that we're in, but we're in the win by two, we're in that match point win by two series layout. So you got to put, if you could put 3 straight wins on the board, or if you could 3-1 your opponent, that's going to be it. You cannot win in a 3-2 situation, though. You have to win by 2. So if your opponent's able to equalize the situation and stabilize in the series and put 2 wins on the board, you'll have to go 4-2 or even a 5-3 situation. This has the potential to go down to like a sudden death round number 9, which would be insane if we see that maybe later on in this tournament. But RVN so far looking absolutely incredible. And my man Mag, he said he loves Pathfinders. Well, maybe he needs to give him a little bit of coaching, give him a little bit of words of encouragement, and see them come back, because RVN was looking damn good, if you ask me.
Definitely. I'm still working on this right now. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a look at our schedule, and we'll be right back in a second. Be ready for more of these matches. We're going to get other teams in here as well. We're looking to broadcast the DIB versus Retribution. They both have been in our tournaments. You've seen them. You've known what they're like. So we get to see them actually compete right now shortly once we get them into the servers. So stick around. We'll be with you in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. You are about to watch Team Retribution with Team DIB. And man, oh man, another amazing group of players that we've seen in our tournaments. We've had literally like 10 plus events in the last month, and these teams were competing against each other, against other players, top tier pro players, and etc., etc. Perform very well. And today we get to see them go head to head. We saw the first game where we said, wow, oh wow, Team Six Crutches are ridiculous. And respect to Minty Maniacs, they didn't have it today, but I'm sure they'll be back for more. You can always re-sign up to our events. If you're a winner, then you advance. If you don't, and you get another chance. So either way, it's good to go. So a lot of great action happening here. It's going to be a whole different format with these players. We're going to see something new with their play styles and things like that. So very interested to see how this works out. And for a quick profile, Retribution has placed top 10 in our tournaments when they have competed, and BID's brand new, coming in about a week ago and pretty much getting in on the action. So they've been showing their skills. So getting to see the arena style of them is a whole different breed, and it's very interesting. So we're gonna take a look right now at BID, and they are in the ring. And this is something I always talk about. I know it's beating on a drum right here, right? But we're staying in the ring. It's very critical. I don't care what you think. It is critical for this game mode, and we're gonna see what's happening. And by the way, I'm joined by my special co-host, who's been doing amazing. Excited, hopefully, to continue to work with him in the near future for Apex and so on. So what is going on? Why not talk to me about what you're about to see here?
Yeah, I mean, again, thank you for having me. I'm expecting to see some good play come out of Octane Blood and Revenant. I believe Revenant just got a buff recently, where maybe on this map it might not matter too much, but he's able to scale large walls and buildings. Literally, he can. It's almost like he's on a zip line. How fast he's able to get up there, and how he's able to traverse the map. So I think Revenant's going to be interesting. That silence ability, also hard counters a lot of different players. So I'm expecting, I like that composition a lot. I will say I also like having a Gibby and a Bangalore on the same team. They both have assault type of ultimates, while they can also add a lot of versatility. They can do a lot of different things, almost like a Swiss Army knife, how they're able to utilize that tool belt. You can use them in so many different ways. Big fan of Gibby and Bangalore as well.
Definitely. And from these guys here, they are serious business, and a lot of people don't know who they are. I kind of low-key sometimes don't talk about if they're pro players. I kind of just want people to watch and check it out and see for themselves. And we're seeing right now a good job from DIB, Team Dib. They're holding the high ground, and it's very critical. And usually that works out, right? But Retribution finding their way safely, and they're putting up the fight to stay alive and to find their way to the high ground as well. So it's going to get interesting in this push right here as they move in. Two players get taken down, and like I just said, having to rotate into the ring going to give you the loss. First game looking real good for Dib right there. Good stuff by those guys. Exactly what you want to see. And man, it's just the beginning, but that's the type of play that you want to see. As you can see here, DIB just showing you the replay so you can see exactly what's happening. It was pretty simple. They came in and they had the high ground the whole time, and they pretty much held it. They didn't have to move too much. They didn't have to rotate. They didn't have to get out of position, and they just kept picking shots over and over, which was a smart way to do it.
I agree
So
100%, but I do think there is opportunity for improvement on this. If you're going to play the strong side of the hill and force the opponents to rotate towards you, I think you need to cover all angles. So you notice they have somebody here on the top of this building, but they didn't have somebody on the top of their opposing building. So that allowed Retribution to come in a weak side flank, and they had that building almost all to themselves for a little bit. I think ultimately in the future, if you're going to hold that, put someone on top of yours, put someone on top of theirs. So this way, Retribution can't just sneak over on one side and have that available to him. But either way, Retribution was not able to fight against that hill. Retribution, I don't mind you playing the off side of the map. Get your materials, get your supplies, get kitted up, and then rotate. But you gotta rotate a lot earlier. You can't be battling against the hill. You gotta be battling with the hill. So if you're gonna make that rotation, you gotta do it a lot earlier. So I think there's room for improvement on both sides. But so far, I like what I see.
definitely. And once again, I think that's today's theme. We see in the rotations as an issue, and I usually don't call that out too much, and it's not a big deal because I personally like going outside of the ring because you know the team is not there, and then basically you can end up getting all the gear, getting all the everything you need before you get into the fight. The crafting materials are very important to get early on, the first couple rounds, so that you can get top tier weapons or top tier items like, you know, a bat or grenades. So I tend to do it also, but I like to be careful about it, you know, and I like to know how to rotate proper and have the positioning when necessary. So 100% interested on how it all goes, and it's doing justice when it comes to positioning. And we talk about it for Battle Royale a lot, but I'm liking that we're having to talk about it for arenas also today, just showcasing these teams. And of course, we haven't got to see many Apex arena tournaments, so as we go, we're going to develop the way this game is played. Us players tend to create the meta for their games, so it'll be interesting from there. So we'll see how that works out.
And I will say, I mean, that's the one thing I love about first-person shooters is you don't have to be the better team in order to put wins on the board. You just got to be better on that round, on that game. You just have to be able to adapt better. You have to be able to adjust to how the enemy team is playing. So, for example, if I know and if I'm confident that I can win my pivotal gunfights and I have more firepower, I'm gonna push that strong side of the hill. I'm gonna make sure we control it earlier. However, if I maybe I'm a more strategic team, I want to be a little bit more technical, and I don't have as much firepower as my opponent. Well, I'll push that weak side and utilizing a different composition or a different set of weapons and putting my opponents off guard. I think that's a way you can beat a team that may be better at gunfights than you. You know, maybe they're better in close range. You know, they can close the gap on you well. They can play their numbers, play their shields, and ultimately win pivotal gunfights. But maybe they're not good at long range. Maybe I can have my G7 Scout, my 30-30 repeater. Dare I say it? I know you guys don't like the charge rifle too much, but that thing puts in damage. So as long as you're able to adapt, as long as you're able to change and get the edge off on your opponent, I think you can be successful.
Definitely agree with that, man. And for me, the key component as a player is being able to adjust and have that adjustability. Like, I can pick any weapon up, I think, right now and do decent with it. Snipers, I'm not that big of a fan of, but I love it when I get the Kraber, so I'll definitely take that. But overall, I don't practice the sniper enough, but I'm overall when it comes to whether it's shotguns, subs, and things. So having that adjustability, not just with a weapon, but in the play style, being able to switch off and get aggressive when you need to, or maybe play defensive. You know, a team is too aggressive and you want to force a player to come after you and you can catch him isolated. Is what I like to do, is force an aggressive player to come out solo and pretty much tell my team, focus on him, finish him off. And all of a sudden now it's a 2-3. And then we have the advantage to be able to do our job and take over. So we'll see what happens there. And speaking of what happens there, we are back, baby, and it's going down. good stuff so far. I'm like what I'm seeing, and it's still very early on. These two teams are very skilled, so anything could happen and everybody can play very different. Speaking of very different, BID just sitting up top holding the high ground, but guess what, it's one of those maps where the high ground is just dead center and everything is in play for the moment. So pretty interesting how this is going to end here once this area goes. I would think it'll be a fast round from the way they are playing and doing their job when it comes to keeping position. So everybody's going to be forced in by this third round, if it even gets to the third round. I think the second round is going to force everybody to fight. We'll see how it works out.
I think this map is very interesting. You can play these top of the buildings and play that long range game if you want to, or you can go over towards that bunker side of things and play a little bit more of a mid range or close range battle. So if I was going to play this tower side, I think I'd want, no matter what I would want one player over towards this tower side with that G7 Scout 3030 or a charge rifle, and then have the other two players maybe playing that mid range game, utilizing the R99, utilizing the flat line of the R301, and making the team uncomfortable. I think that's what I would want to do if I was in this game. But again, I guess there's a reason why I'm behind the commentator desk and I'm not playing.
That's very true. Very true. I'm very much interested. I like, but I don't know how you play, so we got to judge you. We're gonna get you in on a scrimmage. I mean, we've had casters play in tournaments. We said, hey, put your team together, get in there. So, I mean, hey, why not? But we'll see what you got. Honestly speaking, the 3030 isn't a weapon I think of, to be honest, at all. Like, I ignore it. But I've recently, with the new update, and right before they updated it again, it's been getting better and better as a weapon when it comes to long range. So, for me, I just go with, you know, longbow. Still one of my favorites. Speaking of longbow, all this good action, and man, oh man, Team Dibs doing their job, getting it done.
That was pretty great. It's almost like they decided to meet in the middle, drop the gloves, and just make this a brawl. We're gonna box in the middle right here. That's what happens. That circle, it closes in and it forces you to get that close range action. So there's only a certain amount of time where you can sit on top of a tower, sit on top of that zip line landing, and ultimately find success. Eventually, that circle's gonna close in on you, and that's why you were talking about that before, utilizing those early rotations, getting to where you need to be so that you can ultimately execute and play within the circle, as opposed to playing around it or playing into it, because it can be very dangerous at times. I want to see a little bit more work coming out of our I believe it was a player rocking that R99. I want to see him getting in that close range. I want to see them barrel stuffing his opponent, because that weapon, it can put down damage and it can do it fast. The clip empties quick. You got to be quick on that reload. You got to make sure that you're playing those angles. But if you can hit those shots, you can one clip a player that's out of position with the R99. And speaking of a similar weapon, the Vault. To me, it's like the R99's bigger brother, because not only is it good from up close, but you can get into some mid-range engagements as well.
Yeah, speaking of the R99, I gotta get in on this. R99, the best gun in the game for me personally. If you can clip somebody, you're a goat with that thing, because it is so good. Now I use the Vault more because it's more reliable, it's more stable. It does shoot slower rate, so it's not gonna rip through people as fast as the R99, but it is incredible. Sometimes if you watch my streams, I'm literally with the R99, and then I use my Vault as my long range weapon because the stability is so good on it. And man, it is fun to do. It's just a good combination for me because I'm very aggressive at times. Of course, you want to have a sniper instead and kind of mix up your gameplay, have the long range and short range. But man, those guns are my favorites in the game right now. If you ever see my usage, it'll just be like Vault, 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 R9, R9, R9. So good stuff right there. Dibs just sitting comfortably as they should, showcasing what they got. I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah, Octane players can really change. They really are meta defining. You know, you can have your IGL, like Hal, for example, play an Octane role and get into the action, get the early supplies, while also calling out exactly what's going on the map and make a play call. Octane then can utilize that jump pad to close the distance or even get away from a non-advantageous position. I think a good team, a good high firepower team, is always going to be go as their Octane player goes. And here we go, Volt shots going down, shots are ringing out. Oh my gosh, he's being smoked through the smoke from across the bunkers, and Gibby drops the bubble. The weak side flank is coming in. Octane wants to join in on the action as well, and just in case this battle lasts too long, there's a care package, so all the goodies on the map,
goodness.
and there's going to be your champion in LOL.
Yeah, no, that's Dib. Team Dib with the win. Really good stuff by those guys. Man, this team is incredible. And once again, you know, you're getting top tier gameplay from some of these teams. We're going to watch the end here and see how this all plays out. I'm going to let my man, who's doing an amazing job today. Today's the showcase of why not as a caster. Somebody go and hire him full time, book him. He is a keeper. Tell us about what you see here at the finish.
Well, as I said before, you have that IGO going in, getting those early supplies. So right off the bat, you're going to have those shields advantage. And then this is where you're playing your height advantage, just good FPS fundamentals. He hears the sound cues on the player that's coming right under him, gets the early shots down. Once those shots go in, at that point, that player's cracked. Now you're seeing the weak side flank on the right side come right in. I believe at one point they even dropped the Gibby bubble just to make sure they're able to play some angles. More shots ringing out for Octane, and then just collapse. This is a team that communicates well. I can tell that the comms are being communicated efficiently and effectively. As soon as that crack went down, the way that they pushed in was almost chess-like. It was beautiful to watch. And there we go. All players going down, and it did say LOL is the champion, but it was actually Team Dib that come out. So my apologies.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we're going to keep it rolling, and it's looking good so far. Hopefully we can get Why Not back into the server quickly. But guys, it's been an honor and a pleasure. It's been going really good. You know what's funny? We have an amazing team we haven't talked about yet, and I want to take a second. They are secretly in this tournament, but they are no secret, and we're going to talk about them shortly. I think they're performing very well, and we will showcase them once this Dib versus Redemption game is over. And then if they make it into the sub finals, we'll definitely cast their full games, because I'm excited to talk about it. And I know that Why Not has some input on this team that I'm talking about, don't you?
Yes. I mean, everybody knows that I'm well versed in the Halo community. It's my home. It's where I've grown up, and I've actually found out recently that there's a team in Danger Close that are top amateur players in my Halo community. A player like Caboose, who is an absolute grinder, puts in work. They have a teammate in Venom who's placed top 8 in the HCS Pro Series. He's technically made it into pro bracket, which is one of the qualifications that we call our pro players, is to make it into pro bracket and to make it consistently. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little biased. I can't lie to you. I'm a little biased, and I want to see that team be successful.
Definitely. I think you know, your job is not to be biased, but you can always have people you root for. For me, I root for like people who use my legends or my weapons. You know, like, hey, if you got a Pathfinder and an R99, you're my best friend. We're friends. Like, we're family. You know, that's how I roll. So, you know, we'll see that team, and they're performing very well. I can showcase a little bit sneak peek before this match starts. If you guys that are watching want to see the action right now. Danger Zone, again, one player taken down though, and they are still in the game with 2 other players, and it's a battle. They're putting up a good fight against Divas, and Divas trying to come out strong and hold it down and do their thing at the moment. Do not sleep on Danger Zone. You can see they have a Horizon, a Lifeline, and Octane. That's a fun game, and you can see they win it as we say so. And we're not here to, you know, showcase them just yet. This is a teaser to what's to come. If they can make it into the semifinals, they will be the team to watch and pay attention. We're gonna go back to our versus screen to kind of just talk about these two teams. I'm like what Dib is doing. Dib is destroying, and they're about to close this thing out. And man, it's scary. It's scary good. I like when I see these teams come like this, because guess what that means? They might win the first team on the first round, but you're going to go into the semis against these teams who are doing the same thing. So now you got juggernauts facing off each other, having to prove how good they really are.
And this map is going to be a lot different. It's going to take a different skill set because I mean, you got to cover a whole lot of ground on here. There's this garden side of things. You know, I would say lots of times some of these long range weapons or these long range specialists might be able to really show off what they have. You're seeing this entire, I believe it was the Dibs team that was clumped up. I was watching Retribution. They're clumped up a little bit. They're really close. And you got to be careful. Don't catch any nades, but early damage going to be going in. Octane backing down. Currently only has a bit of shields left, and here comes their care package. We want to see if they're going to go for it. There might be some goodies in there.
Yeah, it's always goodies. It's always a goodies. I actually like Arena's ability to not have us looting like crazy, and just one care package for everybody to know where it is. You know, you can get yourself a secondary gun. There's been a Kraber a couple times in those care packages, so it's always fun to open it up and see if you can find yourself something. I've done some real serious work with a Kraber in arenas. I know that's like, what? A Kraber in arenas? Yeah, there has been. So who knows? But right now, Dib's still in control when it comes to holding their position. Redemption just trying to stay alive, and it's looking like they're about to get eliminated. This game right here might give Dib the grand finale and the finish and the win, and take them into the semifinals, folks. How many games was that won by these guys? I mean, like, they're incredible so far. They're just ripping through this, and this is good. Okay, I know if you're rooting for Redemption, you want them to succeed. Trust me, I want the best type of games. But what this tells you is these top teams are ready today, and they're gonna rip through anybody who isn't, and then they're gonna move on to the semifinals and the finals, and we're gonna have the best of the best go at it. And that's all I care about as an organizer, hosting these events and putting together all of these great tournaments for the players to be able to showcase their skills. So we'll see what goes on right now with Dib. Can they finish it off, or will Redemption, it's their new nickname, get their retribution? Or will their retribution get their redemption? Which one is it going to be? I don't know. We'll see.
And that's the one thing I love about these free-to-play tournaments is that, you know, you're going to see all skill levels. And if you guys are at home, you're saying, hey, look, I've been playing Apex for a little bit of time. I want to test my skill. Don't be afraid to do it. Hey, come in, you know, come into a tournament, and maybe you're going to get double first rounds. And maybe you might get dominated on in that first matchup, but everything is a learning experience, and it just gets you better. I promise, a player like this, I've been watching Octane rocking the R301. I'm sure he's taking his fair share of losses, and it's making him better because those shots are flying out, and they are hitting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And man, I like Retribution right now. They're putting up a fight for this. They don't want to go out like no chumps, and that's what you want to see. The type of activity where you're just not going to allow somebody to push you around. And as I say that, one of their players do get taken down, and Dib again getting very aggressive and just very confident, holding high grounds, pushing the teams, and they are just unstoppable, man. Unstoppable. That's the type of action you want to see from them. This is just the beginning, guys. I haven't even warmed up. I'm still waking up. You know, when you start a tournament, the games are getting good, the teams are showcasing certain things, and you start to notice what's happening. Once the games start picking up, it gets me really amped up, and I'm gonna go a little crazy a little later because I know these teams are gonna do some insane stuff that we're gonna remember. You guys are welcome to clip and be a part of this journey, because this is for you, by you, the players, the viewers who love this, all the people in Asia who watch from the various platforms that I stream from Asia, the people who watch from the UK, of course, YouTubers, Twitch, Facebook, everybody watching. We thank you so much. All of your support is appreciated. And we're going into the next round, seeing what these guys got.
And it looks like we are.
Go ahead.
It looks like we're on board with our Gibby player here, who's rocking the R99, getting right into the action, tries to slide into that man. Z and misses a few shots, but luckily it's a little bit of a bait and switch. And Team Dib gonna become your champions of this game, and they are looking good.
They are so good. They are more than good. It's talking about top tier gameplay. This is the inspirational stuff that you want to have going into the next round, and being able to understand it's on. So take a quick look and check out our schedule while we prepare for the next games. You can go and look at the bracket live on our corebattleleagues.com website, and you can get up to date with what's happening so far, the teams that are advancing, who's in the middle of a battle, and going from there as we go forward. So we're going to take a quick second, get back to you guys shortly, and very excited to say the least. And you're going to see next ups very soon. If I want to showcase the bracket for a second here, the Six Crutches versus Raven Omega. All right, those guys are pretty much about to go at it. And of course, we're watching Dib, who's pretty much advancing here. And right below them, the team to sleep on, or not to sleep on, is Danger Zone versus Diva. And they're in the middle of their matches. We're going to showcase that in a minute, but just check out our schedule while we get some things up to date for you guys. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, apologies for the delay. We are back officially, and we are going to be checking out a team to really examine and see what they have going forward. These guys, we got a little profile that we're going to ask why not to break down, and they will be playing against a team called D.Va, a brand new team that we actually don't know much about. And they've been on my server and they've come and hung out, but they have not officially played here. So let's take a quick look. Team D.Va in game 3, down 2, and they're going up against a team that I would like why not to break down. Who are these guys? Danger Zone.
Yeah, you have the captain, Just Venom, the 23-year-old out of Newfoundland, Canada. He actually placed not only top 8 in the HS Pro Series in Halo, but he even got second place in the $1,500 Revival Games Kill Tournament here in Apex. So clearly he's been around the block, has only been playing Apex for a year, but Venom absolutely knows what he's doing. When you have players such as Caboose. Caboose is a grinder. Caboose is a 20-year-old coming out of Boston, Massachusetts. And when there's a player who just puts in the work, he puts in the hours, almost seems like he never gets off the game, it's my man right here, Caboose. You got to watch out for him. He's going to know all the tricks of the trade, as he's going to be rocking the R301 to start things off, upgraded all the way to blue. So he should be, and he's going with the variable scope here. So if he wants to get up close, he's going to have that 1x, but if he wants to get a little bit more range, he'll move into the 2x.
Definitely, and very interesting stuff. You know, you got different aspects. One thing I love about Apex is, to me, you know, the community as far as esports and everything is incredible, with a lot of amazing players, a lot of content creators, and just overall it's been a beautiful thing just to be a part of it. And I'm blessed, you know, with so many great people that I know of. And man, Halo players coming on over, trying to get in on the action, which I like a lot. And we're seeing them right now dominate, about to finish this off. One last player trying to survive this situation. Denmark trying to do his job, and he actually was helping organize an event that we've basically showcased a organizer who does a lot of Apex events. We kind of wanted to support her, Blowback Lady, so we allowed her to work with us to do a tournament. Here it is. This might be the finale. Danger Zone. Enough talk. Sorry, guys, but Danger Zone taking over, and they advance. All right. You know what that means? That means we're officially headed to the semifinals. And man, that was a little bit of a slow-paced ending there. As we'll show a replay and allow why not to break it all down.
Well, I thought it was pretty crazy because you're going to notice that Noisy Boy, their lifeline, was the final player that was up on their team. Their Horizon went down very early in Venom, and Caboose was down. So then the gold backpack res out of lifeline, allowing not only to come up, but come up with that half shields, half health, and then utilize it to one-clip his opponent with the R301 was absolutely insane. If lifeline didn't have that gold bag, maybe lifeline would have got the res, but there's no way that Caboose would have been able to stay alive without that extra shields and health. So beautiful plays by Noisy Boy to have the awareness to get that res when he's in a 1v2 situation, but also having the insight or the hindsight to buy that gold bag to make sure that if his teammates go down, he's able to make sure they get up and be effective right off of the revive. I love what Noisy Boy did right there, and now you've seen the wingman shots that are ringing out, but a 1v2 situation. I told you, Mag, I'm not good at math, but I know 2 is more than 1. Danger Zone end up winning that, and decisively. Beautiful plays by them.
2 is more than 1. I love it. And just a quick second here, we're gonna go ahead and give you guys the preview here. If you're watching the next matchup that we're gonna see in the semifinals, already getting started very soon. So get ready for these two teams, which are some incredible teams who really care about this. They take it very serious. They're dedicated to the max. They're no joke here, and it's gonna be interesting when they go head to head, because both teams have been talking about becoming the champions, talking about being number one overall. They're organizing their teams professionally as possible, and they work with us in all of our tournaments as players, trying to make sure that they're in and they can showcase who they are. Talking about 6 Crutches versus Raven Omega. You've seen 6 Crutches so far. We paid attention a little bit to Raven, and we saw their gameplay in the background on their second server that we have, and they did really well. But what is your thoughts so far for this next matchup that we're going to be seeing very shortly?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I saw more of 6 Crutches than I ultimately did of Raven. When we hopped into Raven, I believe that series was actually already on the way, while we got to see 6 Crutches from the ground up. And I will say, they looked really good. I feel like they knew exactly what they wanted to accomplish. They knew exactly what they wanted to push. Even the weapon selection was very fast. Now, my question for 6 Crutches is, now, this isn't round 1. This is going to be a lot more difficult. It's going to get harder as the tournament progresses, and maybe Raven can make 6 Crutches play on their back foot. Maybe they can make 6 Crutches play with their backs against the wall. And how are you going to adjust? Are you willing to switch to weapons that maybe you're more that maybe a little bit less comfortable with off the start, but able to counter what your opponents are doing in case they get the edge up on you? That's one thing that I didn't see out of 6 Crutches, because they weren't really tested. They really dominated. Now I want to see them be tested and how they adjust from there.
Yes, it's gonna be very interesting, because six, you know, this happens a lot in sports. You see teams blow other teams out, and then they're too confident. They go into games and they think, oh, we got this, we're the best, and they play casually. They don't have the spirit of alertness and just staying on top of their jobs the right way. And it happens often, and hopefully that doesn't happen with 6 Crutches, and hopefully they can continue to develop and grow and to move forward. But with that in mind, Ravens did also sweep, so this is the same exact scenario. 2 teams who cleaned up shop right away and swept both teams that they faced. So what we're gonna see next is top tier teams in the semifinals, and man, it is gonna get interesting, because, you know, we're in the semifinals, but it's still early, because we're not in the finals yet. We don't know who the top teams really are. We got to test their blood. And for me, this next matchup is going to be the deciding factor on, like, okay, this is the team to fear. This is the team that's on point tonight. And sometimes it's not your night, and sometimes it is. So interesting stuff. We're going to dive into this once all the teams get in on the action, and we'll be very thrilled to bring this next matchup to everybody here. And speaking of next matchup, why don't we take a quick look at a few things and discuss them so that everybody can know what is going on. We have these arena tournament series that is going to be happening consistently for our tournaments, so you are more than welcome to join these. Come onto our Discord. It is free, and it's for the community. Everybody is welcome to play in these, and these are pretty much qualifiers for you to enter into the majors, where things pick up. Only the top teams will be invited. The teams who win will be invited, and then we'll see what you got from there. But do not sleep on these community teams. Some of these guys are hungry and they want it. They want it bad. So you're welcome to join. There's arena tournaments, there's battle royale tournaments. We got everything, anything Apex Legends. This is your place. And speaking of this is your place, I'm gonna take a second to look at this bracket just really quickly, just for a second. And why not? We already see we're in the semifinals. We got 6 Crutches starting up right now against Raven Omega, and then below that, in our second server, which we'll flip back and forth to, we have DIB versus Danger Zone. And we already know that the talk about Danger Zone and their Halo performances and how great they are there this is a different world. They showcase their first round that they can handle business, but they're going up a team like DIB, who was dominating and performing very well. And we're about to see all of this happen. Any last words before we get into the match?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be incredible. I think we've saw bits and pieces of all four of these teams, and they all have looked incredible. I can close my eyes and throw a dart at the screen, and I make a good argument for any one of these teams to take this entire tournament. Six Crutches going against RV and Div going up against Danger Zone, and the winner of those match up in the finals. This is gonna be insane. This is gonna be crazy. Thank you, Mag, for having me along.
Definitely. It's been an honor. You've been amazing. I think my community would vote you in to be permanent here, but we appreciate your efforts. And again, we're building and growing our esports scene for Apex. We've done this for about 5 years, but we've mostly done like charity events and done a lot of things in general for the joy and passion. And now we are starting to pick it up and take it to the next level. And we're happy to have you on board. With that in mind, on board, we're almost on board for this matchup. If you can go into a deep dive for the teams that we're about to watch, while I go and make sure these brackets and everything's set up. Team Six Crutches and Raven Omega. Let's hear it right before the match starts.
Yeah, it looks like all six of these players are currently playing on console, and as I said before, we actually saw the entire series from Six Crutches, and they looked good. I mean, they looked like they were dominating around one team, but as I said, they were not tested. We have not even seen their ability to adapt or to get off of plan A into plan B or C, because plan A was working so well. RV, and I believe we caught midway into the series, and I will say, I mean, they were looking almost as dominant as Six Crutches. They were looking like they can make a run easily for the finals and to qualify as well, but I saw more of Six Crutches. I tend to be a little bit of a prisoner of the moment, so I'm gonna say Six Crutches. I'll put my vote in Six Crutches, and I'll say it's gonna be close. I'll say it's gonna be 4-2 in favor of Six Crutches, but I don't know. RVN were looking good as well. We're gonna see if they can clap back. I'm excited to see. This is your CBL. I love that logo, looking like they're dunking on people. Let's get right into it.
Yes, sir. We're just getting started with our movement, and once again, we are hot and fresh, and we are going to start off this next match. And a reason I'm excited about this next match is these teams are no joke. I love their passion. Just to kind of point it out, you know, they're really ambitious about becoming champions of the world, not just for our events, but for the globe, ALGS, and et cetera, et cetera. So their ambitions are high, and we're here to supporting them, all of them, not just these teams, but anybody that comes on board to be a part of what we're doing. We are not here to sign you guys. We're here to showcase you guys as a esports organization, broadcasting and organizing events. You know, we manage it. We pretty much do every single aspect of it. And it's always good to have the community who cares as much also. So really interesting stuff. I'm super excited, a little bit distracted today, back and forth, because there's so much going on, so many different games happening at the same time. I'm literally updating the brackets while the games are happening. I'm literally updating on the website. You can go to corebattleleague.com, and then we're casting, we're managing. I'm managing 50 people in here. It's always something, but so much fun. And I mean, right now is the time, man. The semifinals, there's no more talk, no more who's better, and maybe they just didn't have their game. Like, these are going to be for real, the teams who are going to be going back and forth. And I want to see a game 9. All right. The way this match system works for us when it comes to the series, they are trying to win 3 games in a row if they can, but they have to win by 2 in a match point, just like in the arenas round by round setup. It's the same way we have the series. So these teams have to compete and win it all. and we're gonna check into the actual gameplay and go from there and see what they have. Right now, Crutch is going straight into the ring and keeping that position there. Why not?
Yeah, it's looking like Valkyrie, it's elected to utilize almost all of his resources to get the Vault. The Vault is a deadly weapon. We were talking about it before. It's close range, but it can hit you from mid-range as well. Some people can even snipe you from long range with this weapon. So I think it's a good buy. I usually go round one. I'll usually get like an alternator so I can combine maybe a battery, maybe 2 cells, or combine like a cell and a frag grenade as Valkyrie gonna get the get up in the air, shooting down the missile, but nobody home. Here comes that Octane player and gets the whip. Switching out to the P20, puts down the shots, but Octane will not go down easily. Luckily, the bait and switch gonna come in, and it looks like we got a big start coming out of our boys here. Finesse, Fusion Bird, and Whale Bear Shark.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you got to know these type of games, the first game, I love it. Sometimes it goes fast. Sometimes it'll take a while. We've seen games go 20 minutes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But that first game, real quick, it was an aggressive push. And this is going to kind of decide how things roll, because you're going to see other play styles. Because, like, you know what? Maybe we got to fall back and not be so aggressive and kind of hold our ground in a position and do something a little different and things like that. So let's take a quick look and see what we got as far as action goes. We're going to check out Raven this round and see how they perform.
So far, 6 Crutches are playing really well. We're going to see if Raven can bounce back. This is great. Mythical along with WizKid. Mythical utilizing this Bolt once again, but this time he's upgraded it 1 time, and he's able to have that red dot sighter, making sights extremely easy. He also has a couple of cells in his back pocket, along with a frag grenade. I talked about it before. I love utilizing the explosion utilities, whether it's frag, arc star, or thermite. You can really be creative with it. However, as Octane is going to be taken down early, they don't have a lifeline as Octane, Wait, and Bloodhound, so the lifeline can't get him up early. Not going to matter. Going in, smacking him a few times, but even that's not enough because he's going to be put down.
Put down. And folks, this is tough. These are the tough situations here already. What are we looking at from these games so far? What do you feel about Crutches?
I talked about it before. We only seen Crutches plan A, but so far, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're up 2-0 right now, dominating this RVN squad just like they did in round number 1. I really want, if you can do me a favor, I want to get some of these players on screen. So I want to stay on board here with 6 Crutches. I want to see Fineness. I want to see Whale, Bear, Shark, and Fusion Bird. I want to find out what exactly they're doing in order to be successful here, because they're dominating. They have that Bloodhound, Pathfinder, and Valkyrie a composition. I think it's a good composition. Valkyrie can get on top of buildings extremely fast. Same with Pathfinder, utilizing that mobility, and then Bloodhound giving them all the information that they need. Wingman in the hands of Valkyrie at the moment. We're gonna see what he does, because he's hitting those shots. I think that was 71 damage from across the map, and here come the nades.
Beautiful nades. You throw them up high, you look to the sky, and basically nobody will get notifications of them dropping, and they'll land and hit and destroy. And it's a really good pro method on how to get them nades off. And look at this right now, 6 about to clutch this up. It's incredible how fast they're able to dominate, and they're finishing this off so quickly. Unreal. 3 games already.
3-0 for 6 Crutches, and I cannot say enough how dominating they're looking here, and I believe that was game number 1. The 3-0 seems to be the theme of 6 Crutches. They take the game number 1 3-0. They take game 2 3-0. They take game 3 3-0, and then they 3-0 the series. I'm starting to sound a little repetitive when it comes to 6 Crutches. Like, somebody needs to test this team. Someone needs to put them on their back foot, win a round. I don't even care about a series. I need to see 6 Crutches lose a single round.
Yeah, but this series just started, so I mean, you think it's over yet? That fast?
I'm a firm believer in momentum, and game number one ultimately is it's what tested the team. It's what we get to see what a team is made of. You get to set the pace, and when you 3-0 in game number one, mind you, yes it is one game. Yes it is, but it's 3 rounds. If you can't put up a win in one of these rounds, it's not going to be looking good for you going forward. I'm not counting RVN out of it, but I am going to say that they need to adjust, and they need to make that adjustment quickly, find out what exactly they're doing wrong. This is where a good coach, if you can stream your matches on Discord and allow a coach to see all 3 point of views, maybe they can see what from a macro sense what you're doing wrong and help you make those adjustments. It's hard to make adjustments in game while you're actually playing, but a really good coach can really find out what are your weaknesses and maybe help you turn it into strengths. We're going to see exactly what RVN is made of as we go into game number 2.
Definitely going into game number 2. It's going to be an exciting time. I personally, you love the performances like this. I know it's tough to see blowouts and things like that. As a sports fan who watches basketball a lot, there's a lot of blowouts in basketball, but it shows how superior some of these teams are. And to me, I'm okay with that. If I can see superior teams, it's exciting to have that type of performance. And I am sure we are going to get some more of that action shortly. And again, Ravens been a good team, but they are currently not sitting so well on that first game. They lost it, but we still got a long way to go here. 6 has to win 3 games. 6 has to win 3. There you go. So pretty interesting, and we'll see how that works out going forward. Hopefully it does as we get underway for our next game. And let's just take a second to talk about it. We still are in the semifinals, so that everybody can know. Very early on in the games of the semifinals, 6 Crutches are up 1 game against Team Raven, and still very early for both teams. Anybody can win this. You always see comebacks. And down below them, we're going to be watching that game shortly. DIB versus Danger Zone are all playing right now, and we'll see what they can do, and we're going to go to them in a little while when we get a moment, so that you guys can enjoy some of that action. They're getting prepared to start their games as we go forward. But today, right now, what you're watching is 6 Crutches versus Raven Omega. It's about to happen, and what I like about this intros as we get the game started is your weapon selections. We were talking about it earlier. Grenades are very critical in Arena. You can do a lot of work with the grenades, but there's also some secret weapons in there that you can use when it comes to the book bag. If you have like a lifeline and she revives somebody, she's going to give them extra health. They're going to come out ready to go. So these little details are actually big details that will help drastically. And I'm excited to see how the players play on this next game and what they're able to do. It's always easier said than done when you have these guys who are really good. So let's go ahead into the action. Check it out right now as Team Raven moves straight into the ring. I'm not sure if we see Crutches on the same area. Crutches went on to the opposite side, so this is the first time that I see Crutches really not be in the ring right away and not rotating deep into the ring. They went and got materials. They went and prepped before they move in, and this can work out for them if they play proper. Personally, when I'm in this area, I like to rotate to the right or left because there's a little more cover. Going straight down the middle, all you got is a vehicle and a couple of boxes to give you cover. So we'll see how they play this. And of course, it's 3-on-3, and Finesse moving on the left side. Their team captain moving towards the left. Exactly what I would do is move deep into one angle and then just push in slowly and go from there. So this is the first round on this game here, and they're still very early, but I like it. I like it a lot, and we'll see what they could do.
I was actually watching Fusion Bird screen for a moment, and he ends up almost one clipping a player, absolutely breaking him. However, Whale Bear Shark does get it down, and when you're in a 3v3 situation, especially on a game type like Arenas, you have to play your numbers. You cannot be the first player to go down. You're putting your team at a huge disadvantage. So even if it means you have to sacrifice damage, play your life as much as you can. Pathfinder currently losing all of his shields, but luckily has a battery, so he's gonna be reviving off a screen here. Bloodhound, no scans at the moment. They've already used this early scan, so now Bloodhound is just a player that's really tall with a lack of movement. That's the one you got to be careful picking these legends, because once you use that ability, you then sometimes, you know, Bloodhound's tall. He's really easy to hit. I'm sorry.
Definitely. I mean, in the end of the day, there's so many great abilities, and they're game changers. There really are game changers. It's not just cheap abilities that you just pop here and there. There's things that will change the whole game. Bloodhound Scan, for example, it's giving you information on where everybody is. Basically a wall hack. That's what we call it around here. Amazing stuff from him. Valkyrie's, whether it's her rotation, even her flight can give you an advantage at times. I use it as a dodging mechanism. I don't actually fly with her all the time. I kind of like dodging with that rather than just running. You can jump dodge to the right or left, get yourself into cover and things like that. So right now we're looking at a good 2-on-2, and it's looking like Raven getting hurt right now, about to get taken down, and yes they do. Good stuff right there, perfectly done by Six Crutches. Just continuing to be the best.
I mean, yes, Six Crutches did put that win on the board, and it was a good one at that. However, this is the first time I'm seeing some life coming out of RVN right there. They really tested Six Crutches with number one, getting that first knock. Getting that first knock was huge, so great job for RVN, but then you have to play those numbers. When you're in a 3v2 situation, once you get that extra shield advantage and you put those shots in, and you even got a one clip, even if you just break a player, don't even worry about one clipping them. That's when you have to up the tempo. You have to make your opponents feel uncomfortable, as it looks like Whale Bear Shark has already gotten into the 50% portion of the map here on Portal. Both teams on the Portal side of things, and he's rocking a fully loaded R301. That's going to include the Anvil receiver as well.
Man, just hearing a fully loaded R301. Woo! Yeah, so let's see what he could do with this bad boy right there. One of the best guns in the game. If we're talking about in general, it is. I said the R99 is the best because that is my personal favorite. But R301 is the most well-rounded gun. You can use it as a long-range weapon, medium range, and close range. It just has everything. You can put it on single fire for long range, so it's really good. But speaking of really good, guys, look at this. Our Ravens one-on-one trying to win this match. They've got to clutch up right here. Can they do it against Six? They need this. It's a confidence booster, and they're allowing them to heal up, but they're also healing up. So this is where it gets a little rocky, because this push right now and how this all plays out. Good stuff by Six. They basically juked them with a jump towards them, and then they jumped away to behind them. Really solid play right there. I like it, and you gotta love it when you see that type of action. We're gonna take a look at the ending there while we wait for the next game to get started, and we're gonna start showing you guys more replays as we get into the finals and consistent replays between the rounds. And you're seeing some good stuff right there, really good stuff. This is where, for me, when we saw Bloodhound healing up, it was pretty much a strategic move. You can pay attention closely to when he jumps up as he heals. Something I like to do is jump up just to see where the person is, see if they're going to push you or not, and you pretty much hold that position. And that was a pretty interesting setup here as we were watching from Raven's point of view. But if you pay attention, as Raven gets behind this wall, he sees Bloodhound jumping up while having a cell on his hands. So take a look right here in this very second here. This is the critical moment where you allow this person to get a couple heals. You see how he jumped up right there? That pretty much gave away the fight. And speaking of the fight, man, we're missing on the action right now. And it's looking like a 2-on-2 is happening on the live action. No replays here, folks. And we're looking to see if Raven can do it. Once again, they're down to 1 player versus 3. And man, Crutch is incredible.
6 crutches is incredible, and they're playing as so. But I will say once again, RVN continue to impress me. I think they're having these moments. I was even while you were breaking down that replay, I was watching what RVN was doing in the live feed here in the spectator mode, and they're doing good things. They're just not putting it together and turning into a round. So they're getting that individual knock. They're getting that individual crack and shields. They obviously can shoot straight. The problem is they have to become a little bit more coordinated. This is where I like to have a coach where once that if you're able to share your screen on Discord and have a coach watching all 1, 2, or even all 3 point of views, once he sees 1 or 2 players getting those lines of sights, getting that damage, he can call when to push up. He can call when to use those nades, like we saw that Valkyrie player do in Whale Bear Shark. We saw him. He in that replay, he literally cracked the other that Bloodhound player. Bloodhound had to back down. The moment he saw that, he didn't have any nades, but he had that Valkyrie missiles, gets up in the air, drops those missiles down, gets those hit markers, and was playing it nice. I will say he ended up sliding into 2 different players and ultimately dying, but I like the idea. I like the focus right there. Get your players weak and then keep the pressure on. Make sure RVN is uncomfortable. It was a great play by Whale Bear Shark.
Yes, it was. And we're about to get into the 3rd game here, and it's crazy because 6 crutches once again could sweep another team and get into the finals. Imagine getting into the finals so confidently when you feel like, hey, I got this, I'm in control, I don't have to worry. And that is where they're at as far as being able to perform this well. And it's interesting because they're also facing teams who basically wiped the board also. They're still able to take Raven out. And we're going to see shortly after this what they can do against the next team if they win. But ladies and gentlemen, we are doing match point system. The way this tournament works is we're not doing regular best of 7. It is a best of series, but it's match point. You have to win 3, but if it's tied 2-2, you have to consistently win by 2. So you have to have that advantage, kind of like basketball or other games, sports that have the same setup. So we'll see what happens.
And I want to see at least 1 player at RVN make a little bit of an adjustment here. So we know that Whale Bear Shark is an absolute demon when it comes with that R301. And if you're noticing in the first round, he's continuing to utilize that 1 clip type of ability. Well, there's one thing we know about the R301 is that its clip isn't all that big. Once he starts to reload, that's when he's a little bit more vulnerable. So if ultimately, if you can stay alive in the initial shots coming out of Whale Bear Shark, maybe you need to utilize a weapon such as the Spitfire with that higher magazine capacity, or utilize those explosions. So when he backs down to reload, that's when you have to take advantage. Drop that Arc Star, drop that Thermite, make him pay for not 1 clipping you. It's easier said than done, but that's the kind of adjustments that I want to see from RVN. You have to know what your opponents are doing, what they're comfortable with, and make them uncomfortable. So to counter that R301, you need to understand that maybe you need a higher capacity weapon, such as that Devo, such as that Spitfire, and don't be afraid to utilize those explosions so that the moment he reloads again, you make him pay.
Make him pay. Said it strongly right there, and it's true. In the end of the day, I like when teams get aggressive on me because I know what to do to react to them. Once I know you're aggressive, the surprise aggressive on the first round, you're gonna get me possibly if you catch me off guard. But once I know that's how your play style is, my job is to adjust and make you pay for your decisions. If you're too defensive, I want to bring a lot of grenades. I want to, spam you in any way and try to flank you there in those positions. If you're too aggressive, I want to pull you into my traps, pull you into my lore, trying to get you in positions where you're vulnerable. So that's the way I like to do it, and I think we're gonna see them respond in game 3 here. This is a elimination round for them. The rest of the time they have to play like if their life depended on it, and this is the grand finale for their efforts to try to compete on this. And we're gonna go deeper and deeper into this tournament, man. And I just want to give a side note. Our second games are looking incredible, and I have not went to them yet because I wanted to save it so that you can see the top team once they're ready to go. But man, it's pretty good for Danger Zone. I'll just say that. But they are still in game 2. They're finishing that up, and they're going to go to game 3 right now. But this is also game 3, so you're looking at 2 game 3s happening at the time, and we're going to watch Team Crutch and Raven as we go forward. Let's take a quick look. And right now the action begins in the thermite area. I like this map.
Notice how Whale Bear Shark, you know, he's already found success in Valkyrie on a map like Phase Runner, but he's not content. He says, yeah, I want to keep adjusting. So he's going into Molten, and he's saying, I know that Gibby's going to be a little bit more of a versatile character as opposed to on Phase Runner. So he's changing, he's making those adjustments, even though they're up 2-0 in the series. That's what I like to see. That tells me that he's a well-practiced player, and even a well-disciplined player at that, as he has this wingman. They don't want to break it down just yet until it's a 2v1. Wingman shots going in. He puts down the damage, but tries to switch out, but his Pathfinder ends up getting cracked. Here he comes back, and look at that. Whale Bear going one shot. However, to force that 2v1 situation, baiting and switch going down. That's good fundamental first-person shooters right there.
Yes, it is. And talk about Gibby Bubbles, dropping the Gibby Bubble and holding it down, taking control. 6 looking like they might lose this if they don't stay in control, though. It's a one-on-one. And man, oh man, talking too soon right there. That was a good first game. And it's just a start again, guys. This is also a match point system in the game, also not just for our tournaments, but in game. We use their system for our tournaments, and still very early, and we'll see how this plays out. It's looking really good. I personally feel like Raven just has to get drastic here and do crazy things. I don't care if it's pulling out, you know, all stops and just figuring out some magical wraith portal that she can get them the angle on something, you know, maybe the Gibby ultimate to just drop it on their heads. There's a lot of ways to play this, but today, right now, so far, you know, 6 just has their number so far.
On board now with Fusion Bird with the R99. He's gonna crack that door, but it's a big mistake. If you're in a 1v1 situation, you do not want to crack the door and run into that player, because while that foot is out and you're cracking the door, you have your gun down, so the player that's holding the door is able to get those first shots on you. So what he needs to do is have a second player come in and rotate. They kick it down together, or wait for the Gibby to turn his back. It's Gibby getting caught with his hands down right there. Early shot's gonna be ringing out. R99 putting in the work, but he's lost all of his skills, and the Wraith comes in for the bait and switch. Mozambique gonna put that player down. Gibby coming in afterwards, and finally Bloodhound goes down. And hold on, are we seeing a little bit? I just can't believe how well both of these teams are playing right there. That was incredible, Mag. That was absolutely incredible.
Yes, it's not easy in the Gibby bubble. You have to be very skilled. You have to practice consistently and be able to know when to jump in and out of it. Also, when to pop it. A lot of times people get panic and they'll pop it early, or they'll wait it when it's already too late. 2 teammates are down. You want to try to pop it when it's necessary in a fight. And of course, you can use it to revive a teammate. You can use it to heal up, to survive in a bombardment or anything like that. So really good Gibby. Gibby's one of the most reliable in composition formats. So I love to see him. And of course, the Eva's sitting here pretty, and this is all close range, so it's really gonna do some damage. And 6 looking to clean up shop, and they do. And folks, this is it. They are officially in our finals. I can't believe it. So fast, so hard, so strong. Team 6 is doing what it do. And we're going to take a last second look on some of this gameplay here and just to show you guys how incredible that ending was. Just perfectly done, to say the least. And congratulations to Team 6, the first team to officially make it into the finals. And man, it's going to be interesting. We're just getting started with the finals shortly, so stick around, as the second team will be finishing their games and we'll be showcasing them shortly.
And I thought it was really interesting on how fast that game was, because RVN have really been testing the Six Crutches team throughout this whole entire series. Now, mind you, they weren't able to put a round on the board, but if you were actually watching the games, you saw the early knocks, you saw the discipline, the trigger discipline as well. So I think it was a great job ultimately by this RVN squad. And I don't think they should have their heads hung low. I think they should come back next week or the week after and come back even better than ever, as we saw the absolute crazy shots ringing out all over the place. But as Maya Angelou once said, you will face many defeats in life, but never let yourself be defeated. So RVN, I want you to hit the lab. I want you to take out the pens and pads, and take some notes and find out what you ultimately could have done better going into next week, because I want to see you again.
Yes, I agree with that. And now we're coming into our conversation between me and you, almost in the finals, right? We're about to watch Danger Zone, who's pretty much looking to finish this off to get into the finals. They've already played some games, and we're going to see that in a second. And yes, before we talk about the winners who are in the finals, let's give a shout out to all the teams who competed already. This isn't over, because you always get a chance. Just like you said, that they should come back. Actually, next week, every team can come back, as long as it's not the winners of the tournament, because those people advance automatically into the majors. Everybody can come back, sign up. Easy to sign up right through our Discord. You can get involved. Let's talk about what you saw from Six Crutches in this host matchup against Raven.
Well, I saw a well-practiced team and a well-disciplined team. Notice, I talked about it before, in Phase Runner, we had Whale, Bear, Shark really utilizing the Valkyrie and everything that Valkyrie was able to bring in. But apparently their strategy was to funnel in onto that middle circular building in Molten, or in the lava map, whatever we're calling it nowadays. So they switched out of the Valkyrie composition and instead brought in Gibby, because Gibby can drop that bubble and almost force you to get to close quarters. So I love what I saw right there. They were just as comfortable ripping out the R301 as they were with taking out that Mastiff and getting into those bubble fights. Six Crutches, again, I said it before, you're looking at plan A, only plan A. We haven't seen them play plan B or C because they haven't been tested. Their backs haven't been against the wall. But even without having to be forced to make adjustments, we're still seeing them make those adjustments. Again, switching from an R301 to a Mastiff takes a totally different set of skills. And obviously, Whale, Bear, Shark is well practiced with those skill sets.
This is very true. And for me personally, watching these players, I've seen these players in my tournaments for a month and a half for all of the battle royales. I didn't know what to expect in arenas. You know, this is a whole different scene compared to battle royales, but they've impressed so far and they're in it to win it. Congratulations to you guys. We're at Casters just excited to watch and call your game. So hopefully you can perform well regardless of who wins or loses in these event things. For us, it's the excitement and bringing this to the community. So everybody watching, I hope you're enjoying as well. Thank you so much for being a part of what we have. Let's go into the schedule and then go into the actual games and see what's happening with the other side on our second servers. So first and foremost, there are some games today that you're seeing. This is the first Arenas tournament series. Pretty much the first. I'm just proud to say that it's literally the first private server tournament for Arenas. But also, this is a series, the first series. You're going to be able to come back every week and get into these games or watch these games if you're just a fan. And I know a lot of orgs have been watching, some of us recruiting some of our players that we put on Showcase. Feel free to sign everybody. you know, there's enough money in the world, there's enough contracts out there for these guys. Like, if you can do it, if they're great enough for you, feel free. And also, just a quick shout out to my co-host, who has been phenomenal. Really love his work. Why not? I know he's just doing his first Apex casting, but you can tell he's a well experienced guy, and it's just great stuff to have you, buddy. But so also tomorrow is our battle royale tournaments. I know you guys been into that, and we've been heavy into that. That is going to be incredible. Those are exciting for me because we've already built up on a lot of teams, a lot of greatness, and these teams who've became second or third and never got to win are really hungry to finish this off and get into the majors. So I'm excited to see what they can do. And, you know, we're just trying to provide the community with some great times. So tomorrow you can get yourself in on the action. So stay tuned for that. And speaking of stay tuned for that, man, let's stay tuned for this second game. And again, this is just extra gameplay for you guys. This is live feed of Danger Zone doing some work.
And it looks like just as we come in, the round is actually going to be coming to an end. And if I might have saw right, it actually might have been Danger Zone that were able to steal away that round. Yes, and I saw on the kill feed, Caboose dropping 2 kills. I want to focus on these guys, and I want to see Caboose. Caboose is the Octane player. This is the player that's going to be on the front lines. He's the one that's going to be making these decisions and ultimately starting with the pushes. So every push is going to ultimately start and most likely end with Caboose.
Definitely. And this is the moment where we're just waiting for the matches to start. Usually I don't show the screen, but we're going to see it start out right here, and we're going to pay attention to Danger Zone. They have been performing very well, and they might have a chance here to make it into the finals. This is the semifinals matchup, and they're looking good.
And you can tell this is a tested team. Venom starting off throwing nades from across the map. You have to put in countless hours of game time to know exactly where that nade placement needs to go right off of the start of the game. As R301 putting in the work in action. Venom having 3 batteries on the side, so if he takes that early damage, he can obviously recover. And utilizing his height advantage to put 109 damage on that player with the purple shields, dropping down with the thermite, taking that early damage. He doesn't want to commit to it just yet, but beautiful plays coming out of Venom, and Danger Zone gonna become your champions here in this game. Fantastic job by Danger Zone.
100%, man. And this is the type of stuff you like to see. Real good performances, and we're going to take a look at that on a replay, and let's see why not get into today's showcase. This is the why not show for today. I'm loving it. Go ahead and break that down, what you're seeing here for the finale. You just called it.
And you know, that early nade coming out, that's one of the things that I love to see. That tells me that you are practiced. You know exactly where the enemy team is going to be spawning and what routes they're going to most likely take, although nobody home with that grenade. But then again, good FPS tactics. These are Halo players. This is the world that I come from. And the one thing we always do in any first-person shooter is we utilize that height advantage. So all 3 players utilizing that horizon lift to get it up top as much as possible, keeping at least 1 player set up while 2 are ultimately pushing and flanking in. He was looking for that player coming out of the smoke, and look at that. Just good shots. R301 just shoots straight. Now, mind you, that player throws a denial thermite right there. So that ultimately stopped Venom from pushing in and to capitalize on that knock. So good job by that player right there. But then eventually the dust settles, the fire goes out, and Danger Zone is going to become your champion. I'm not sure if that was series. I know that was game number 3, but I'm not sure if that was actually going to be the series. They're able to win by 2. But either way, they're playing fantastic, and I would not be surprised they're moving on into your finals.
Yes. So they actually won 2 games. So we're about to go into, actually, wait a minute, confirmation. Yeah, they just won 2 games, and we still got 1 more game from these guys as they go forward. Danger Zone is doing incredible stuff at the moment, and they have been performing very well. I'm excited to see them in the finals because what's going to happen here is they're on fire. They're doing their job. We haven't seen them. So this is an undercover team because we've been covering our first servers teams. We've been covering the east side, let's just say, and these guys are from the west side, and we're gonna see if they have what it takes to take over and dominate the globe right now. And it's gonna be game 3 happening right now, and we'll see, you know, in my view, how good can they be against top tier material. And at the moment, Team Dip hasn't been able to perform as well as they want to, but they're figuring it out, right? And they're still in this game. I've been down 2-0 in arenas, and I've won 4 games in a row. So, I mean, it's possible, but we will see. Again, these are Halo players, right? So does Halo represent? Did Halo just come over to represent? Is that what's happening right now? Halo represent in the Apex community. We're excited. That'll be really great stuff. Hopefully they can give us a show. Give us a show right now. It's the first time we're going to really see a full game right now of them competing. And I'm excited to see how good they could be. And let's take a quick look as we go.
Here we go. Is this the live gameplay right here? Are we in our finals? Hold on.
No. This is game 3 of the semifinals. Team Gib versus Danger Zone at the moment.
It scared me for a second here. I was like, hold on. So game 3, I'm not sure exactly what the round scores is, but the way Danger Zone won game 2, I would not be surprised if they're up 2-0 in this.
Yes, they're up 2-0.
No surprise there as Venom utilizing this vault, putting the cross map shots in. Nobody going down just yet, but early damage being put down. Danger Zone need to be careful. They don't want to get one clip. And it looks like Venom utilized all of his resources, materials to get that vault. So he doesn't have any batteries. He doesn't have any of those extra he doesn't have any extra utilities, but just as I say that, their Octane player coming in and dropping in the supplies, almost like a mini care package right there. That's why you should have an Octane on your team, getting those supplies early.
Definitely. And I think, you know, there's so many great legends that can work in arenas, and it's so much fun the way they set it up where, you know, you have to buy your actual ultimates. You got to buy your tacticals, and you know, you're not just going to be an overpowered player. You're going to have a little bit of everything, and it's fun and interesting to say the least. And I love that right now. A very creative way to set this up. I don't think they get enough credit for doing that. I was wondering how would they do a PvP mode, and it's really nice, this format. And they actually just updated the prices on everything, so pretty much everything you're used to has been changed a little bit, not too drastic. I think a lot of it makes sense. It was necessary. And speaking of making sense, it's looking like Danger Zone sitting comfortable, but one of their players is in the backside trying to get an angle and doing a good job to help his team pretty much get ready to push on this. Good stuff by him to be able to poke as much as possible, forcing Gibby to use his bubble right away. And what's sad about this situation is now they're going to be in a thick fight with 2 teams above them, and it could be Danger Zone's game here to win the first round of this match. As I say so, they do so. Really good stuff by those guys.
And there it is. I'm not sure why he was phoenixing. You already won the game, Danger. I guess he felt he was in the danger zone. He said, let me drop the Phoenix just in case. And
hey, that's a hard flex. That's a new hard flex.
That's the new hard flex. We're even seeing, once again, the replay, but out of that last game, of that last round. This was the replay of the last match. It was beautiful plays. Either way, it looks like Venom going to be starting off with the R301. And the R301 is just, it's such a good weapon. It shoots literally straight. It has a high amount of power if you're able to hit your shots. The magazine is not very big, so you have to be able to hit your shots, not like the Spitfire where you can spam things up a little bit. He also has the nade as well. You're seeing the early nade coming out of Venom. However, nobody home.
Yep, and it's really key right here to be able to grab everything you can, whether it's crafting, whether it's the supplies. All of this is useful in the long game here. Sometimes you're picking shots back and forth. As you can see, they already downed one of Danger Zone's players. Let's see if they can get him back up, or this is going to be the round that Team Gib finds their way back into the fight. Let's see. We will find out shortly.
And look at the teamwork coming out of Danger Zone, able to put that player down, but Caboose off the screen gets down, and Venom is currently one shot. He goes and tries to get the crouch strafe off, but not able to get the win. And hold on, Dibs looking good right now. They currently have their Octane player and their Bangalore up, and it looks like Dibs might have put their first win on the board of this game. Not count them out.
Yes, I'm just in the background saying yes, yes. We want to see that type of competitive nature today. Well, I think maybe we gotta like reevaluate it and see where the player level is, because we saw a lot of dominant stuff, but so far Dibs being the first team to fight back and put up a fight and to kind of give it a back and forth here. So this is what you want to see, consistent back and forth matchups. And man, this game 3, it's getting intense. It's getting very real, and we'll see what they can do when it comes to fully committing to the win. You don't want to just put up one decent game and think that's enough. You got to be able to take these teams out and do what's right. And I love the Bangalore pick. For me personally, I think she's an underrated legend overall, Battle Royale and arenas. She doesn't get the credit she deserves. Speaking of the credit she deserves, she is getting some good shots off and takes out Octane, and now she's trying to get to cover to heal up. But I like the positioning here from Gib. They're just in the ring, in the center, kind of holding it down, and they're looking to try to dominate this situation as best as possible.
I think Dib is doing a great job of adjusting. They've realized that Danger Zone likes to have their Octane player push up and to grab materials early. So they're baiting those materials, getting the early shots in, and really utilizing good fundamental strategy. I'm liking the way Dibs is starting to adjust. I will say their Bangalore player, I like them to go with the Alternator as his secondary. I think that's a little interesting to me because the Alternator does cost 400, while the Eva, what was it, 250? I believe it was buffed up to 300. So you can actually pick up the Eva along with say, you know, an extra grenade or an extra utility in your Q tactical. I think the Eva might be a better up close weapon than the Alternator because of its cheaper cost and its high firepower. So I'm surprised that Bangalore player, I like Judgment. I love the Alternator. It's always my round 1 pick, but I will say the Eva tends to be a better secondary to your Vault.
Yes, yes. I love the Vault. We're not going to dive too crazy into that one conversation. We'll be here all night. But I picked Vault over everything pretty much. But let's take a look here. We got the game getting started. It looks like Danger Zone is officially going ahead and taking control of the top right, while one of their players grabs materials for them and looking to get back into, you know, the flow with his teammates, playing smart here and just not giving up that high ground while still being able to loot up and grab materials, grab some healing packs. And this is what you want to do. A lot of times I see a lot of teams get impatient, and you don't want to do that. You want to hold the high ground and keep control, and that's what they're doing right now. And they have a chance to win this, and they have a chance to advance. So why get impatient and kind of try to show off? Why not just be the champions that you are with the way you've been playing and showcase it consistently? And that's what they're doing right now as we speak. Amazing shots by the R99 Mozambique for the finish. Wow. Oh my goodness. And there it is. It is done. And folks, that means only one thing. We finally are going to get into our finals. It is happening right now. And we're going to take a quick look at what was going on. As I explained, Octane went and grabbed the materials. He grabbed some supplies. Then he rushed back to his team. And I'm going to let Why Not go ahead and break down the rest of this replay.
Yeah, there was a great job by Caboose. And also notice once again, I talk about adjustments a lot. So he actually fully maxed out his R99 and kept the sight on there. So he knows they have a Bangalore on their team. Bangalore is a very versatile player, utilize those smokes, but you'll notice that Caboose has a hard counter to the Bangalore smokes with this tracking reticle, which can just illuminate everybody on the screen for yourself, not for your entire team. So you notice the smokes are out. He has no problem selling up real quick, and then he's gonna go in for the early challenge because this is not an overlay thing. This is just he's able to see everybody. They glow red. So even though the smokes are out there, the R99 side is beautiful. I also want to talk about Venom utilizing Horizon as opposed to for example, a Pathfinder or Valkyrie. I think Pathfinder and Valkyrie individually do what Horizon do, but better. But it doesn't help your team right there. Horizon's lift can be used by everybody on your team. Valkyrie can't. Pathfinder can't. They have that advanced mobility, but your team can't use it. Horizon allows everybody to use that lift, get that height advantage, and you saw once again shooting through the smoke. Fantastic job. I'm noticing that it not only is Danger Close able to adjust, but also their legends are really good as far as in the team aspect. Octane getting those supplies, utilizing that jump pad, Lifeline, obviously the ultimate support character, and even going into Horizon where everybody can utilize that lift. When you drop that black hole, everybody gets sucked in so they can draw the nades and suck in the defense so they can ultimately turn that into offense. Their composition is very team oriented and not individual at all.
Very true, and this is exactly what you want to see from these type of groups. They're very, very capable of being able to stay in control and run the thing. So congratulations first and foremost to Danger Zone. We're gonna just keep pointing out that there are some Halo players and they really like Halo. And to talk about Halo, I always connect Halo and Call of Duty together because some of the developers have, you know, separated and they started making Call of Duty, and Respawn, the people who make Apex, made Titanfall. Also, they made the original Call of Duties popular, and they're the ones who brought us Modern Warfare and all of these games that kicked off Call of Duty being the #1 best shooter at the time. And these guys know what they're doing with games, so kind of just drifted off. But the point was, Halo is connected to Apex in more ways than one, not just for today, but we got some really cool stuff for the finals. We're pretty much here. We made it, and I'm going to take a second to congratulate everybody and pretty much get this rolling very shortly as we go forward and try to get everybody situated for this next round. Congratulations. Thank you guys so much. I want you to take a second and just look at our schedules while we prepare for the finals. This is it, the grand finale. We're going to showcase the bracket. Congratulations to both teams who made it in, and we are literally less than 5 minutes, so stay tuned. ladies and gentlemen, wow. It's been an amazing night. As you guys know, we try to keep it short, so we organize these events to have a shorter span for the players not to be exhausted. We want them to enjoy themselves, and we want the community to enjoy it as well. We upload these on all the social media platforms, and we get thousands of people just really liking what they saw and things like that. So we're humble and grateful for you guys always supporting and loving what we do. And once again, I just want to take the moment, you know, for Respawn and EA, who's been always with me for my other events, whether it was NBA Live and all of these other games. Just want to say thank you for always supporting somebody who's for the community. But there's a difference between like them wanting to support the biggest name in the industry versus somebody like me who doesn't focus on that and pretty much tries to bring authentic passion projects. Super grateful to you guys. I know that you guys sometimes email me details, feedback, and all that. So thank you so much all the time hitting me up and just supporting the cause. And congratulations to these finalists, because it is crazy right now. I don't know if y'all ready, because I'm a little bit overexcited to see if who's real right now. All right, is it all hype or is it real? That is the question, and we about to find out right now, because the top two teams in our tournament are in the finals, and we're about to check in on the action. We got Why Not as a caster who got to see pretty much every game that Team 6 Crutches had, and we watched a bit of Danger Zone, and they all have been amazing. And now we're in the grand finale. This is going to decide who really is the best for today's tournaments, and you can also join. So can you give us your thoughts and feedback here while we get this game started very shortly?
This right here is your finals, and I promise you it will not disappoint. We've seen 6 Clutches wreak havoc across this entire tournament, round after round. I don't think they've actually even dropped a single round, and it might be the same for Danger Close as well. I will say 6 Crutches, they look organized, they look well prepared, and they win those pivotal gunfights. Danger Close have shown that they've been able to make adjustments, but they have been tested. They've had their backs against the wall in some of these rounds. Both of these teams are going to reach, it's their ultimate test right here going into the finals. Which one will qualify? We're going to find out right now.
Yes, we are. Congratulations once again to all these teams that have participated. You're not done, okay? Because you can come back, and there's a secret remedy here that I did not talk about all day, but I always announce for my previous tournaments, and we're gonna do it right now. All of these teams are actually also being monitored by us. So if we make it into the majors and there's a slot that we want to fill, all of these top teams, maybe you placed in the semifinals, you made it to the semifinals, your team got a lot of kills, maybe your team was winning a bunch of games, you have a chance to be invited into the majors because of your performance. So you are not forgotten, and you can still make it in. Now there's another catch to that, is if you compete every week and you don't make it, unfortunately, you're still being monitored even more. So the consistency is important to us, your professionalism when you're dealing with us on Discord, being able to communicate and be on time and different things like that. We look into that because, again, these majors and these championships and the future of what we're trying to do here, it's building together. So you are a part of the family. And speaking of what, you're a part of the family, enough talk. Let's see this family fight right now that we're gonna see as we see Pathfinder. This is the team captain, Twitch Finesse, aka Finesse, the team captain for 6 Crutches, and they're gonna have a fight right off the start, and we're gonna really pay attention and really dive deep into this one. I'm liking Danger not backing down at the moment. They got into the scuffle here, but it's not over. They're going for it and looking really good for 6 right now as they wipe out one of Danger Zone's players, and it's a 2-on-2 at the very moment. And man, as I say that, they finish game 1. Wow. And that's what you want to see right there. Overall, there's a lot of great players, and right now, for that one game, Team 6 did their job and got round one out of the way. And we're going to be going into round 2 and seeing what they have overall.
That was a fast start by 6 Crutches, and I'm sure it's going to get even faster because Fusion Bird has elected to go with the R99, so he's going to want to get up close and personal. He's going to want to empty his clip as fast as possible and hopefully hit his shots. Danger close. What are you going to do? Now you're being tested. Your backs are against the wall. How will you respond? On board here with, actually, no, we're going to switch gears over towards Venom, rocking the vault, being able to upgrade that one time while also having a battery. No explosive this time. Usually, last round we saw him throwing those early grenades from across the map. This time, no grenades, only the vault as he hits up for 126. That's going to be a crack, but Valkyrie coming in for the weak side flank, making Venom one shot, who's going to have to try to back down and play this battery, not able to get away with it. He's gonna go down. So does the lifeline, and that's gonna leave Caboose by himself with no shields.
Man, Team Clutch. I'm gonna call them Team Clutch right now. 6 Clutch, 7 Clutch, 8 Clutch. We're not gonna call them Crutch. We're gonna call them Clutch right now. They already won 2 rounds in this first game, so already coming out with that fire, and you gotta love it. From them, they're performing very well, and it's the start of something beautiful for them. That confidence builder. This doesn't mean it's all over, because again, all it takes is one good matchup, and things can turn around. And again, the adjustments that Danger Zone would have to do, maybe play more defensive, or just get better positioning before the other teams can. And Horizon already throwing up her Q. They're trying to get up top high and trying to hold control. And both these teams are super aggressive. We're going to see a lot of action right away. It's going to get very, very crazy. And this is what you want to see. I'm liking the aggressiveness by Danger. And they did flank right here. And they are trying to push, but they are down a player already. And man, Team 6 just super aggressive and doing really good overall as they go here, trapping Danger Zone into this room, and it's looking like Danger Zone might not have what it takes. Wait a minute, I'm talking too soon, and it's looking like a 2-on-2 at this very moment. Venom trying to stay alive and fight through this situation against Pathfinder. Oh my goodness, and there it is already. Game 1 displayed by these guys. I'm talking about good stuff overall by 6. And let's just take a quick look at that.
And
what you seeing here?
Crutches, you need to get Danger Close a stretcher after that one, because they put 6 Crutches, put Danger Close down, and they do it fast. And notice how, I mean, 6 Crutches really respecting the lifeline play count of Danger Close. The moment they put the Octane down, they thirsted him immediately. But Caboose ends up going down right there, and actually that's going to be the end of our replays, but you guys literally just saw it. 6 Crutches really not afraid to up the tempo, to put it on Danger Close, and now we're going to see how Danger Close responds. Maybe this is not their map. Maybe they're more of a phase runner map, or they want to see some of the other maps that are in the circuit, or maybe 6 Crutches have more firepower and Danger Close might have to adjust to it. I promise you, don't be afraid to adjust. If you have to go to, a caustic main to drop those gas traps when an opponent is playing too fast and you need to slow them down, I think it's worth it. Even Watson as well. Watson can slow down, and also Bloodhound. Bloodhound's great at detecting your opponent. That will make them slow down, or even if they don't change their tempo, you can at least know exactly where they're coming from and throw those early grenades, throw those early pre-fires. So we're going to see if Danger Zone is going to adjust, or maybe you're going to try to match firepower with firepower going into game number 2.
Yes, going into game number 2 right now. 6 Crutches already on top of the leaderboard with 1 win. But again, this is not an easy task. If they get to sweep this, they are possibly the most impressive. Since this is the start, we don't have anything to gauge it off of. but we will use this as a metric for the future and call it, you know, a full sweep of a tournament. And I think, you know, next week, if a team can do that, then we're like, wow, let's just put 6 crutches versus that team. So so far you can't count anybody out, and you got to know game one is always a feeling out process. You get a sense of who the type of players they are, what are they really doing, and then from there you change and you adjust it to your play style. Now I will play devil's advocate to myself, and I always talk about adjusting, but I also believe you have to play to your strengths. So your adjustments have to be to your strengths. And what would you want to do here if you're a player with a team? What is your specific changes you would do if you're going to tell Danger Zone some type of coaching here and try to give them advice? I'm sure they don't need it, but we're casters, and we want to give our opinions and our views of what we feel could be good going forward.
Well, going into round number 1, I don't think I would change much at all. First of all, the materials that you get doesn't even allot for much of an adjustment going into game 1. Lots of times you have to play a weaker side format, a weaker side composition based on round 1, because you don't get the materials enough to get those nades, to get those batteries, to get those cells, and or even that gold bag that you really want. So round number 1, I think I'm probably not going to make too much adjustments from there. But I want to see. I don't have an ego. If I can see that the other team has more firepower than me, I'm not afraid to change it up a little bit. So maybe it's a weapon composition. Maybe instead of trying to go for those close range, mid range battles, I'm gonna make it a little bit more long range. I'm gonna grab that 30-30. I'm gonna grab that G7 Scout. I'm gonna make use of that charge rifle and try to change the tempo. And going into game 3, if you're down 0-2, hey, maybe maybe you need to make that legend change. Maybe you need to utilize that Caustic, Watson, or Bloodhound, or even some kind of composition of 2 or 3 of them and slow the game down. Whatever it is, you just, you know, they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. At some point in time, you need to change up what you're doing, or you're just admitting defeat.
Definitely. And talking about defeat, let's go back to the feed. Get it? It wasn't that great. I tried. So back to the feed of the actual live gameplay right now. Crutches in the center trying to hold their position, but I like Danger putting the pressure on them and forcing them to back off from there they were. And they're doing a really good job right now. I think they heard what you said, and now they're getting aggressive and putting in the work necessary, taking out 2 of 6 crutches players already, and they get this game. Oh my gosh. And now we have a series. I always say it, you don't have a series until the other team loses. And right now this is like home court right now. It's what it smells like for the amazing Danger Zones. We're going to see what they can do there as we go forward, and we're going to take a quick look at this bracket as the matches are going to get started shortly. I'm sorry, the bracket right here, it was a good run, and it was pretty much a sweep for the most part on every single team for both teams. And first game went to 6, and now game 2 is just underway as we watch the live coverage. Gonna see what Danger Zone can do against this 6 team who's been incredible as well. And Danger's already down 1 player, getting hit very, very hard, and 2 players down. It's looking like 6 doesn't like losing, and they really getting aggressive here, trying to push on this player, finishing him off and doing a good job there to clean up shop. Round 2 in game 2, going to the one and only team 6 crutches.
And I said it before, if it's in a 3v3 situation, you need to make sure that you're not going down in numbers. You cannot be that first player to go down, even if it means sacrificing being able to put down that damage. play your angles, play behind the walls, play behind cover, and when things get a little dicey, don't be afraid to back down and call it out. Trust your teammates. One of the biggest things that the biggest issues that I see with early competitive players or amateur players is an inability to call out while you're shooting or before you shoot. You need to give that information as fast as possible, especially in a fast-paced game like Apex, as Venom coming in for the R301, putting down some good shots and getting up with the Horizon lift. Able to get the heels off here, but I'll be honest with you, Horizon's a great character. I don't know if I like her in this composition for this map. I feel like her Qs are being underutilized based on the map.
Yeah, I think it's not just the map. Her nerf that she got makes it a little harder to use her Q, but she's still a fun legend to play with. And if you're used to a legend, you want to play with that, and you don't want to try a new legend you're not good with yet. So it depends on the team and the players. And right now, it's not looking good for Danger Zone. They're down 2 players, and it's just Noisy Boy trying to make some noisy boy. And I don't know if he's going to do it because it is literally a one-on-one, but both players are hurt. And I love what I'm seeing. Woo! Good shots there to finish that off, and it was a good fight right there to pretty much keep it in control, and that's what you want to see.
I believe if my math is right, Danger Close might be up 2-1 in the game so far, as we're watching Whale Bear Pig throw the nades, go in for the early damage. And let me tell you, great shots by Whale Bear, but he overcommits a little bit to that gunfight and was not able to get out of dodge and stay alive, and ends up being almost thirsted right there. And that's what allowed Danger Zone to get comfortable and to play their numbers. You know, Venom knows how to use that R301, whether it's mid-range, close range, he is going to hit his shots.
Speaking of hitting shots, we're going back to the live feed here, and now we're looking into the action when it comes to 6. They're actually getting a fight. This is exactly what you want in the finals. Top tier material from both teams, looking to try to dominate and stay in control. The positioning is very critical in this map. There's a lot of open areas, and the center is where you want to hold it down if you can, but everybody's on the outside, so a lot of action early on, and good shots right there by Finesse, and using my favorite legend, cleaning up shop quickly right there. Man, these guys are just cleaning up shop. This is a super aggressive, fast pace action, and this is fun stuff to see if you're a player. If you want to be aggressive, this is the way to do it and to keep yourself in control. And we're going to take a look shortly as we see some of the action of a replay right now.
And those were the excellent shots being made by Venom. This was actually, I believe, round number 1, because he didn't have that upgraded in round 2. He had the upgraded blue R301 with the 2 times on. That was the white one. And actually, this is the round 2 matchup. This is where we had the updated Volt. Now notice he swapped out the Volt's 2x sight, going back to the 1x red dot. I think I actually agree with that play. I like the 1x on the Volt, ripping shots, but it looks like we're live on the feed. And Finesse was the first player to go down for either team here.
Yes, and now it looks like Noisy Boy also going down, and this is tough. It's a 2-on-2, but guess what? There's a lifeline in the area. That's dangerous when she's around us. She actually goes down, and man, oh man, Danger Zone is in the danger zone legitimately, and Clutch pulling that game out. This is turning into exactly what we wanted. Back and forth, the best type of gameplay that you can see. You want to have consistent action like this in these games, and that's what we're getting. And of course, guys, this brand new private servers, oh no, as I say it, there has been an issue. So we're gonna replay round 2. Hopefully everything gets fixed here. We're only on game 2 at the moment. There was a quick error in the servers. I was about to say that our private servers, there's still some adjustments that Respawn needs to do when it comes to some of the visuals. For Battle Royale, it works fine. Everything visually is perfect, but they got some updates they will need to work on in the near future. So
now I'm not sure if I know exactly what happened. I saw the score. I believe it was 3-2 in favor of Crutches. And I don't know if you, this is obviously up to you, you're the tournament organizer, but maybe we can play it off the differential. So if Clutches wins one more round, they win 4-2. If Danger Close, I almost kind of played the differential as opposed to a hard reset. I would feel bad to do a hard reset when 6 Crutches did have an advantage in that game. And it's almost like, you know, they kind of got screwed by the servers a little bit. But obviously the tournament organizer, you can do it however it is that you want.
Yes, I don't disagree with you, and we are going to work on that and kind of make sure we get all the players back in and get everything situated again and get it going back to where it was, and then just reset from that position and go from there. So give it a second here. We're just getting started. We're going to get everybody right back in and then go from there.
I had to wait.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for tuning in. Giving you guys a look at the bracket. We had 2 teams sweep everything and get to the finals, and we have an interesting finals right now. We're on game 2, and right now 6 Crutches are up 1 game, but on game 2. We're resetting the servers right now, and we're getting these guys ready to go for game 2. There's a little bit of a trickery here. It is 3-2. Crutches are up, and they're about to go ahead and work on it and see if they can finish this off and get the W. It's going to be very interesting to see who wins this. I like what I'm seeing from Danger Zone. They're actually putting up a fight, and they're showcasing that they can compete with this team. You always look at a team who dominates and you wonder, hey man, wow, these guys are good. But both teams are good, and we are going to see some good action as we go forward. And speaking of action, we're gonna just go ahead and fly around these flyers, and you're gonna get some visuals about our events, and as we prepare to prep this next match soon. So let's go. Starting off with our schedule. If you take a look, today we have our amazing event. So far it's been really good with the players, just top tier stuff from the last 2 finalists, and then all the other players also performing well. And then tomorrow we have 2 tournaments, literally giving up my whole day. First one starts at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's going to be for 3 hours. It's pretty quick tournament. You'll be able to win it all. You get in on that. And then right after, when that one ends, we start a second one. All of this information is on the Discord. You can easily go in there and just read up on what we have going on and sign yourself in. It's free to the public, and it should be good. Very excited.
It's funny.
Go for
and
it.
it's funny because on July 1st and July 3rd, these are Battle Royale tournaments. And that's the one thing I find interesting about this arena style tournament is that is for this example right here, you know, a lag out tends to happen or a server crash. And in Battle Royale, you really can't recreate the situation. Once something like that happens, you know, you got to chalk it up, and, you know, it's up into the RNG gods. Where in this arena-based settings, we're actually going to attempt to recreate the exact scenario of 3-2 in the win by 2 format, which I think is really, I think it's a really good idea. I think it's interesting. We're going right back to where we are, where in Battle Royale, we wouldn't be afforded that luxury. So if one player lags out, which I believe even happened in the ALGS, that team was forced to play 2v3, v3. Like they couldn't end it just for one player, and it was really unfortunate. Where this, we're able to recreate the situation almost exactly the way it was before the lag out. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's good because these are, you know, focused matches with 2 teams, and everything is in control. It's a controlled environment. So I love it, and I'm excited to see how this works out because, like I said, Danger Zone has been very critical and running these events consistently, seeing these teams. I hope to see them in the Battle Royale scene as well. They've already shown that they can do arenas, you know, regardless if they win or lose. How this plays out for them, we already know. This is a great team, great players, and it would be nice to see them in the Battle Royale. Tomorrow, for example, I think we have some spots open. I'm not sure. I gotta check. I've been a little busier today, but I'm sure we might have a spot or 2 open for the 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Basically right now at this time tomorrow, the events will be happening. So pretty cool stuff. I'm going to go ahead and showcase the flyer for arenas. What you're watching now is exactly what you're going to get and better, because we're here to improve. Your feedback is important, so come to the Discord, tell us what you like, you don't like, how can we improve, what can we do better, visually, player wise, feedback wise, and stuff like that. So far the players have been saying a lot of nice things. I can't keep up to you guys right now, but on the Discord messaging and stuff like that, you guys have been, you know, saying they love it and they're excited, they want to be a part of it, and everybody's welcome. So thank you guys so much. Come back next week for another arenas tournament every single week, and we just want to build a greatness, and we do have great people coming along, like my co-host today. Why not just coming by and showing up and being willing to enjoy this with me as we go forward. in these events. So yeah, so looking good so far, and I want to see where we go from here with these players, because they all have so much skill. Personally, my prediction here, I'm gonna take it to a game 9, baby. Let's go to the game 9. Let's be crazy, you know. Let's just go to a game 9. And what I mean by game 9, not rounds. You know, when you're seeing these games, I'm talking about games, full games. And just to talk about it quickly, 6 Crutches already are up 1 game, and we're on game 2, and they are actually up also. They actually have the advantage, 3-2, and we're gonna go live with the games in a second so you can see how that plays out. But man, you know, it's anybody's games, and these guys have performed very well. So we'll see where we're going from there. Just a little mellow time before it gets hype, where we're about to get a little wild for these next games. And super humble and blessed to be able to do this for you guys. Again, it's for me personally, it's just a personal joy to do what I love and enjoy it. So getting closer and closer. Ain't that right? Why not?
Absolutely, and as a reminder, we're in game number 2, but the round is in 3-2 in favor of 6 Crutches, which we're trying to recreate that scenario as we speak. We are actually almost done with that, actually. But man, I think this tournament has been interesting so far. I really love what 6 Crutches have been able to do, but this is the first time they've been tested. They've won every single round in 3-0 fashion, except for this one.
Definitely, and it's really nice to see great teams. For me personally, I'm happy when I see these type of blowouts, just because you know these guys are top tier material, and then they're gonna bump heads with somebody that's great. So both teams can do it, and we'll see. For me, I like their comps. You know, Pathfinders on any team is good for me. I mean, there's so many great legends. My personal favorite is Pathfinder. But, you know, you got Octane, Lifeline. It's really great for arenas because you can use them to flank and even together. The small little thing of using Octane's pad, and pretty much if you're downed, using the pad to get to Lifeline, and she'll revive you, you know. So that small little detail, it's a minor thing, but when it comes up in the situation, it can really work in your favor. So just small details like that I really love about the game. And we're fortunate enough to cast these things and see where these guys go with their setups and their formats. For me, you know, you were talking about Horizon, and like I said, she got the nerf, so I think most of us have not used her as much lately, but she was one of the best legends. Season 8, or yeah, season 8. So we'll see what happens. And shortly, literally in 60 seconds, get your drinks, get your popcorn. You got 60 seconds, and we're gonna get round 6 of game 2 coming up shortly. We'll be able to actually see what's going on. We had a nice little break. This was an intermission, I guess. And now we're officially back in effect, and we're gonna see what everybody has. If you've been enjoying this, thank you so much for tuning in. And we are about to get it going, baby.
And I believe this is it. I believe this is the actual round being started right. It's being started right now. The R99 being put through the whole ringer. He has a fully loaded R99, but instead of actually using the normal sight that comes with a fully loaded R99, he switched it back to a red dot, did Fusion Bird, and notice he has his ultimate ready, Beast of the Hunt. It is incredible, and you don't have to actually buy scans as a Bloodhound when you have that Beast of the Hunt, because the moment you go hunt mode, you get 3 scans, and you can use them within, I believe, 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, I love Bloodhound. You know, he's a support class for me personally. I just feel like he can be very aggressive and become a fragger, but I use him when I need to carry a team or when I feel like a team needs the support of his abilities. And he can pretty much be on any team in any game mode, whether it's Battle Royale or Arenas, and be vital for the team. So we'll see what he can do here. But again, Danger Zone putting up a fight, man. And these are the type of battles we're going to see in the long term, slowly picking at each other to start off these rounds. All right, they're not just forcing the fights and just dying in the first 30 seconds. They're taking their time, trying to figure it out, going step by step. And we gotta get a Bibby Bubble fight, and this is what I like to see here. Gibby Bubble in the mix, and they let go of their Gibby Bubble to rotate back, and they're trying to stay in position. Danger Zone pushing Team 6 back. Would you like to see that? Because nobody has got to do that in this tournament so far, and man, they're doing a good job keeping 6 on their heels. And as I say so, a little bit of Caster's curse. One of them going down. And here it is. He's got his hunt. Can he do it? And he does. It's looking like Clutch taking the win. That is game. Wow. Game 2. All done right there. And that gives them the win because they had match point. If I'm correct.
That they did, but they're currently up 2-0 in this series. And with that, I mean, they're in a match point situation. Not only were they in a match point situation in that game and able to pull up the win, but even in this series as we go into game 3, one more. I mean, if they 3-0 right here, that's going to be it. They're going to be crowned your champions and they qualify as well. As we're going into the replays here. Venom doing a great job staying alive and putting down shots, but his teammate Caboose does end up going down. He has to try to dodge that nade. Mind you, half shield, half health. This is not a good equation. Lifeline going to come in and try to revive the Octane player, but even sadly that wasn't enough.
Yes. And I believe this is actually the previous one, right? So I think they're doing a good job. Again, for me, I like where Danger Zone is. They're being smart about their play and they're not just forcing it right away. And I think that's a problem that I see a lot of teams do. They always tend to force it instead of being smart of their positioning and just poking a little bit of damage and getting the team nervous or pushing them back or at least making them waste all their heals so that when the fight starts happening, everything is going to be a go. So far so good for Team 6 Crutches, but Danger Zone have been performing well when it comes to at least giving them somewhat of a fight for their money. The only team that's given them this type of fight when it comes to in the rounds, during the rounds. So interesting stuff. This could be it though. This could be the championship for today. This can be the winners who advance to the majors. 100% 6 Crutches might take it because they're at match point. They can win it all. And at the moment, Danger Zone has 0 and 6 Crutches have 2 wins. So who knows? We'll see where we go from here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your grand finals, and 6 Crutches are trying to make it a 3-0 sweep. You got Whale, Bear, Shark, and Fusion Bird currently already pick their characters. Venom, Caboose, Noisy Boy. It looks like they're not going to be changing up their composition whatsoever. They're still comfortable running that Horizon, Octane, and Lifeline composition. We're going to see how that works here on Artillery. I think Horizon will be better used on a map like Artillery than, say, the map that we just saw previously, where she's not able to get on top of those surfaces, get on top of those buildings. I'm excited to see what Horizon does on this. And also, it's all about that Lifeline play. If your player goes down early, it's up to you to get in there and get that heal while your third player is able to cover your back.
Definitely one of those things about the actual aspect when it comes to Lifeline is, you were talking about Lifeline, is don't be the first person into the action. You want to give your team the support. You're a support class, and your job is to help them go forward. Don't force it. And as we speak, talking about forcing it, already meeting up in the high ground, and this is like meet me at the center. And this is one of the hottest zones when you're playing this scenario here. Always. And speaking of that, we're gonna get a one-on-one little action here. Fuse is trying to single out a player who's in the backside, deciding to drop with him and doing a good job to get his shots in. I'm not sure he's gonna finish this yet, but really great shots so far. And there it is. Great stuff already. My gosh. This is exactly what you want to see.
And there is no doubt in my mind that the R99 is Fusion Bird's favorite weapon. I don't think this whole tournament we've seen him use in any other gun but that R99. And even on a map like Artillery, where you can really take advantage of those mid-range or long-range gunfights, he stuck with the R99, poked in a few shots, waited for that first down, and then hunted down his opponents. He literally, not only is he playing Bloodhound, but he's also playing like a Bloodhound. As soon as he sensed that blood, he hunted him down.
Yes, I love what you just said right there. That was true. I think he just heard me say the R99 is the best gun in the game, and he's like, you're right. We know. Thank you for telling me. And now he's just taking my advice. And speaking of advice, they're actually in the game. We're going to see what's happening. They just met right dead center of the ring, and they're looking. Oh, Fuse got too happy trying to pick up materials there. I mean, supplies, and he gets taken down. And my goodness, again, with another wipe, Team 6 killing it. These guys are insane.
That they are, and we're on board here with that buying phase, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to see that R99 in the hands of Fusion Bird once again. R99, he does upgrade it to blue this time, so he has that extended mag, he has that stock. He elects not to go with the 2x scope and instead dropping down to the 1x red dot sight. The hill is going to be rotating over towards that bunker side of the map here, and I think that works well for Pathfinder, Valkyrie, and Bloodhound. They like to play aggressive. Six Crutches is an aggressive team. They want to dominate your opponent and put the pressure on, and this side of the map is definitely more concurrent for that, or more, it's definitely better for that, I would say. Whereas opposed to if they're on the opposite side, they can maybe get long range by that charged rifle, G7 Scout, even the Hemlock as well.
Exactly, but you want to always have some type of high ground. You want to play in the same playing field, unless you can flank a team and do some work there. And right now, talking about doing some work, Team 6 already taking out one of Danger Zone's players and doing a good job here to try to keep alive. Danger Zone really hurting 2 players down. This could be it for the grand finale. Can Team 6 Crutches? They do! They win it all officially. Unbelievable. Full sweep. They might have lost a round or two, but they won it all without losing a game.
Fantastic job by 6 Crutches. They've played well all tournament long, and as you said, they've ran undefeated. Not quite flawless victories along the way. They did get some pressure here by that Danger close roster. However, it was not enough. They're going to run 3-0. They qualify, and they did it in style. We're watching that final round right there when you have a Bear Shark running that wingman. Look at this, Nate. I can't believe how dominant 6 Crutches have been. We're not talking about one round. We're not talking about 2. We're talking about every single round they played. They ended up 3-0ing, and they looked good doing it. I'm not going to lie. They looked really good, Mag.
Yes, they did. And I'm truly, truly, truly honored to be able to host them. They have already won the Battle Royale and made it into the majors. So now they're making it in for this as well. So arenas and the majors, and it's an incredible thing to see. Great stuff as we watch this final gameplay. Congratulations to 6 Crutches. It is just the beginning for them And for us, the esports organization called Court Battle Leagues, we bring you the battles all over in Apex, whether it's arenas or the battle royale scene. We have tournament series for both, and it's been an amazing time today with some great teams. We ran it, we gave it to you, we did the best we could, and now we're officially finished with that. And I just want to know, why not give me your thoughts on the overall first event when it comes to the players and the performances that you saw today.
I thought it was great. I thought, first of all, I love arenas. I think it's a fantastic game mode, and I think it's here to stay. This is not fluky. This is not something that's going to go away. Once they put it in a ranked version of arenas, we're going to see it start to explode. I promise you that. And then as far as the players, 6 clutches, absolutely dominant. But I want to give a shout out to my boys, Danger Close, coming in from Halo. This is not even their main game. One player has only been playing Apex for a year. Meanwhile, some other players have been playing since day one. They've seen the meta change. They've seen it evolve, and they've been able to experiment with a lot more of the weapons and legend combinations. We have one player that's only been playing for a year, and he was still able to make it to the finals and make it a good one at that. That game too, they were able to put 2 rounds on the board, and maybe a couple mistakes go their way, and Danger Close might have been able to tie up the series, and maybe we're talking about something else that's happening. But either way, said that the team of the hour is 6 crutches. You said they dominated in Battle Royale. They've been dominant here in arenas. I'm putting out a challenge. This is a personal challenge. And everybody under the sound of my voice, I'm going to clip this and put this on my Twitter, because I know I got a lot of friends who are really good at Apex. Can anybody take on 6 crutches? I don't care if it's a scrim. Come in this tournament and play them, because they're dominating. Someone has to come in and put this team down.
I agree with you. And yes, to add an extra clip for you guys, Why Not's putting out a clip of who can beat 6 crutches. We have scrims every week, and we have these tournaments. They're not going to be allowed to play in the official ones until they get to the majors. So maybe everybody can sign up and try to get into the majors and face them and beat them. But at the end of the day, we can't take the glory off of what they've done, and they performed top tier material. When you're the best of the day or the year or the week or whatever, everybody's coming for you. So watch out. You got the target on your back, but next week we'll have another winner for the majors, and we'll continue developing, bringing new champions into our majors, and then we'll go from there. But man, it's been an honor and a privilege to have you. Why Not? It's been one of my best co-hosts that I've had. So just wanted to thank you. Any last words? You can go ahead and plug yourself away here, showing love and support for everything you're doing.
Yeah, sure. I mean, well, obviously, thank you guys for having me. Thank you, Mags. I appreciate it. You took a pretty big risk bringing me onto your platform, and hopefully I didn't disappoint. Thank you guys in the chat. You guys were absolutely incredible. So much of you. First of all, it was so positive in the chat. I saw no negativity, and then also you guys were extremely positive in welcoming me into your community. And if you guys want to check out more of me, I'm a full-time content creator. I do stream. I do make YouTube videos. It's mostly into Halo, but I've been streaming a whole lot more Apex now, so you guys might be interested. Twitch.tv/whynot_b casting, Twitter.com/whynot_b_reckless. And YouTube is Why Not Be Casting, and so is TikTok. I do full-time content creation, and I'm not gonna lie, I love every single moment of it.
Right. And speaking of every single moment, just guys, I know y'all didn't hear everything he said. He talked fast. His handle is right under his camera. If you want to go type it in right now before we let him go, and just show him love and support for what he's did for today, volunteering his time and being a great caster, having a great time, giving me my break. Normally I do all of what he was doing. I'd let him run a lot of the replays and a bunch of great commentary, so it was pretty awesome to have him on board. Thank you once again, Why Not. We'll see you soon, hopefully. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Peace. So Why Not came into the building, and he dominated as the champion of the commentating for today, and it was a good time for me as a caster. And now we are finished, done with this tournament for today. Announcements will be made later when I get a moment for next week's arena. It's not on our schedule officially, but it has been requested to start putting out more arenas. We are going to have more, but we don't want to stack up too many arenas because we have the Battle Royale also. So my number one ride or die, the greatest person for me in Apex is See the One You Envy, my sister. Actually, she helps with the scoreboards and she's just been really critical. So she's vital to this. So I want to sit down and try to see where she's at for the schedule for next week and so on. Tomorrow though, we have incredible stuff for everybody. The Battle Royale tournaments are picking up the pace. Tomorrow we are doing 2 tournaments. All right, at 4 p.m. we'll start one. It'll end by 7. We'll start another one right after the moment it finishes, and then we'll go and finish that one too. So tournaments are 3 hours. It's a Battle Royale, 20 teams in a private lobby, and you're playing to win it all. So if you want to get involved, just go to the Discord, check us out, and find out what we do and who we are and what we got. And this has been a great day for the official first ever Arenas private tournament. All right, it's been that good. Okay, so stick with us, rock with us, get yourself in here for the future. As you saw, we had a great caster today, came by, and I believe he has a great future, and I believe he belongs in the esports scene. So we'll support him as we go, but also the players. You guys are the reason this exists. If you weren't as good as you are, and if you weren't as passionate as you are, there'll be no reason for me to take all this time and energy to bring these events to you guys and to kind of lift things up to the next level for this community. So just super grateful. We building something amazing. It's not me building it alone. Yes, I work really hard and I put my whole life and sweat and tears into it. It's every person, every player, even if you're just a fan and you're just hanging out with us, you matter most. And we'll showcase that throughout the year, try to put some cool stuff together. But that is it for today. I hope you guys all enjoyed yourself. I know I did. And man, thank you and congratulations to everybody involved. And man, it's just the beginning. We got a long, amazing next couple months of tournaments for you guys. So humble and grateful once again. And I'll see y'all tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Catch you real soon. Take care of yourself. Peace.